Test check 1 2 3 4. Check test 1 2 3 4.
Good afternoon, racing fans, and welcome to the Wood County Fair here in Bowling Green, Ohio. Steve Bates and Matt Clark, Steve Ulrich way up in the grandstand in the infield, and myself, Susan Schroeder. We're going to bring you all the action. We've got 9 races today. This track is a little bit different, and you'll see different camera views. So we've got a camera for the front, and then we've got a camera in the back, because there's a huge grandstand up there, Steve.
Yep, those that have never been to Wood County, we've talked about this before on the broadcast, but if you're new to the broadcast, Wood County Fair, they host the National Tractor Pull, which is generally the third weekend of August, and it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday event that they normally get about 15 to 20,000 people a day, and as you can see from the camera angles, the grandstand in the middle certainly seats a lot of people. So the main grandstand here cannot see over it. So I don't know, probably 5-6 years ago, we implemented a camera on the top of those grandstand. We used to run a cable across the top of the track, and we would flip the broadcast live so you could see at home the backstretch, and has worked relatively well. And accolades to our technician, sound man, jack of all trades, Mr. Matt Clark was able to devise a way to go Wi-Fi. So we are Wi-Fi today from the camera up there, and we don't have a cable going over the track to that grandstand. And so far, so good. It's working. The camera's on. Our cameraman over there, and that's where he'll be shooting the backstretch. There's an angle from the backstretch. So it's worked well. Here in the grandstands, we have 2 large TVs for those that want to watch from the grandstand. They can kind of see the live racing action. The other unique feature that's here is we don't have a tote board. And there's a reason for that. The tote company always had problems with reflections off of these aluminum grandstands, and we're having problems with burning up circuit boards. So we utilize these TVs to show the tote board, and the people that are here today that want to bet, they can look at the TVs to see what the current odds are. So it's a little bit of a unique setup, to say the least.
Yeah. I didn't realize that it was because of all the aluminum.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I knew that they always had a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, so they would have the tote board kind of just beyond the winner's circle. It kind of set back there on the pulling track, and they had a receiver or reflector, and when that would go to bounce, a lot of times they would get a bounce off of the aluminum grandstands, and quite frankly, it was more costly to tear up equipment than to be here for a wagering standpoint.
Yeah.
So since we kind of went to this closed circuit environment, the tote company's happy, and the people that are here to watch at least are able to see the backstretch. So it does require a little extra work on Mr. Clark's part. It kind of looks like a spaghetti factor up here with all the wires and so forth.
I was actually, when the national anthem was playing, I was kind of peeking over. I said, "Where's the wires?"
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty neat setup, Matt.
That's what we can call it now that it's working.
That's right.
Well,
we call it other things.
a year ago, we were going to post with technical difficulties and really couldn't figure out exactly why. Matt was able to get it to work, but we had some issues early on the first day. So we don't have any. Well, we do have wood. Knock on wood. It's been relatively seamless this year, and that's very nice. It was a late night for several of these here on the broadcast. They were doing the Summit County Fair last night out at Northfield Park, and in typical Northfield fashion, the 19th race went off at 11:59. And these two were there for all the action, and now are here today in Bowling Green, Ohio. So thank you to both of you.
Yeah. I was able to get a few hours of sleep. I don't think Matt got just a couple of hours, little nap, and
yeah, I didn't trust myself to go to bed. I slept in the living room last night. Yeah, with 2 alarms set. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to be here early to get this all set up. So it's.
Need a representative of County Line Co-op trackside after the first race. Show your presentation.
Here's the post and Bill Peters.
For versus $6,930, complaint courtesy of County Line Co-op. Number 1 is Wisco Tax Collector, owned by Haggard Racing in Mount Vernon, Ohio, trained by Herman Hagman and driver Emmanuel Miller. Number 2 is Hunt Club, owned and trained by John Tedeschi III of Pemberton. Number 3 is Fast Break, owned and trained by Bob Brown of Jackson, Michigan. Number 4 is Full of Scoop, owned and trained by Dave Beanier of Pemberton, Ohio. Number 5 is Victory's Gun, owned by Sue and Norm Robbins of Republic, Ohio, trained by Norm Robbins, the driver of Ryan Stall. There's Win Fight Show, except a trifecta wager here in race 1, daily double wagering on races 1 and 2. You get to the barns, you plan to warm up after race 1, have your horse ready to come on the track when the horses of this race are going on. You're getting your horses ready for race 2.
So we can take a closer look at the horses in this race. The 1, Wisco Tax Collector, Manny Miller up for Herman Hagerman. Hagerman Racing owns this What the Hill colt. It's out of a Yankee Glide mare, Passport to Love, sold at the Heartland sale, which is in Minnesota for $22,000. Has 1 win on the year, and that was 210 and 4 at Hilliard.
The 2 horse is locally owned, John Kineski with Hunt Club. Hunt Club is a long tom owned by John Kineski, Pemberville, Ohio. That horse was recently purchased off the Sugg family. Duke Sugg and his father, I believe, owned that horse that was bought at the Buckeye Classic sale, which would have been at Springfield. It was a $10,000 purchase. This horse, Dam, is No Magic, which was a Cadabra. It's had 4 lifetime starts, no wins, no seconds, but has had 2 third-place performances and has made $1,940.
Bob Rowland trains, drives, and owns for the 3 Fast Break, a long tom out of an Enjoy Levesque mare, Almond Joy. It was purchased at the Buckeye Classic sale for $9,000. Has had 3 starts this year and a couple of thirds. Has been trotting in 2-6, 2-6 and 1 at Oak Harbor and Tiffin.
Another locally owned horse, Full of Scoot, Dan Veneer from Pemberville, Ohio, owns and trains this Full Count colt. This colt was bred by Dan and his wife, Cheryl. Jitterbug, this mare I think they still own, was a Chip Parade, and today this colt is making his first lifetime start.
And we got a little extra information from this young fella down here, said Full of Scoot is a full brother to Here Comes Charlie B.
How about that? There's some good insight.
That's right. And the 5, Victory's Gunner, Ryan Stahl, drives for trainer Norman Robbins, Susan Irene, and Norman Robbins, the owners. This is an in-range colt out of a Victory Sam mare. It's just had one start. That was at Bucyrus. Made a couple breaks, so we'll hope for better things from Victory's Gunner. Looks like they are headed to the gate.
Should mention we got Mike Wupkenberg starting gate today, and I didn't see who was the starter. Did you?
I did not either.
I don't think it's Mike, but it is Mike Wupkenberg starting gate, and he is utilizing a pickup truck here at the Wood County Fairs, and they score 5 wide.
Okay. Okay, so let's turn it over to Bill Peters for the call of the first from the fair.
Hey there, riding the first away, let's go tax collector. Got me in your second attack club. Third is full of scoop. Offshine fourth is fast break. And the last horse is victory gut. As they make the turn out, head down backside, race the return at quarter mile mark. Emmanuel Miller has let's go tax collector on down by 2 lengths. Riding in the second is Putt Club, driven by John Tedeschi. Third is full of scoop, driven by Dan Feeder. Racing fourth is Victory Gunner, driven by Ryan Stahl. And the last horse is fast break, driven by Bob Brown. As they race past that quarter mile mark, that's still Wisco tax collector by 2 lengths. First quarter started in 32 seconds. 33 seconds. As they race around the number turn, come down past the 10 delivered time. That's still Wisco tax collector with the lead. Racing second, Hunt Club. Full scoot in right there. Victory's Gunner fourth, and all stride fifth is fast break. Front three pretty well bunched. They come to the half-mile mark. That's Wisco tax collector by 2.5 lengths. Over Hunt Club and followed closely by Full Scoot third, and then Cozy in fourth is Victory's Gunner. So last horse fast break. First half started in 1:06 and 2 fifths. As they round the turn now, head down the backside to race over the 3/4 mile mark. The one that gets is Wisco tax collector. The coast horse second is Hunt Club. Heading in third, Full Scoot. Racing fourth is Victory's Gunner, and the last horse is Fast Break. And Fast Break still off stride. Going to the 3/4 mile mark. Wisco tax collector still on top by 2.5 lengths over Hunt Club. Right there, coach third is Full Scoot. 3/4 in 1:38 and 1 fifth. They wait for round up the turn. Here's the race for Peter. Wisco tax collector still in lead. Hunt Club now charges up on the outside, second followed by Full Scoot. Less than an 8 mile to go. That's Wisco tax collector in the rear. Hunt Club on the outside. Wisco tax collector and Hunt Club, they're racing away. Wisco tax collector and Hunt Club. It's now Hunt Club and Wisco tax collector. It's got to be Hunt Club. Wisco tax collector, Full Scoot for show. A mile and 2:10 and 1 fifth.
Exciting finish for the first race of the day.
Very much so. It was follow the leader for most of the race, and coming around the last turn, Hunt Club and John Koneski, which for this race was the pride of Pemberville, set that horse up very nicely to be able to pass Emmanuel Miller in the stretch drive. And mile at 2:10 and 1 fifth, so the back half was in 1:03 and 4. I'm guessing they're pretty tickled with that. Second start for John. First start at Tiffin made a little bobble and finished fourth. So Hunt Club has picked up his first lifetime win.
I think they raced the first 3 horses, or the first 4 horses there, raced really well. I'm sure that this little fella down by us, he must be a Veneer grandson. He was pretty excited about Full of Scoot. And how he raced.
I mean, you couldn't ask for more for a horse to make a first lifetime start.
Right.
And got off the gate good, got away third, and stayed third the whole mile, and was really trying to make an attempt to get up for second. So hats off to Full of Scoot. And Wisco tax collector, cut it out. Just got a little bit tired there at the end, got out sprinted. So nothing to be ashamed of there. John coming back to the winner's circle. His wife Bonnie headed to the winner's circle. I should note the new winner's circle this year. One of the main sponsors is K&K Construction, a cement company and builder just outside of town here, Weston, Ohio. But K&K Construction, a beautiful new winner's circle, paver stone, cement.
Now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming from right here in Wood County, Pickerville, comes number 2, Hunt Club. Owned, traded, and victory by John Kennedy III. The blanket for this race is courtesy of County Line Co-op.
County Line Co-op, which happens to be in Pemberville, Ohio.
The winner's circle here, redone it, is courtesy of K&K Construction. Let's have a big hand here for the Kineskis, Don Hammond and Hunt Club at the County Line Co-op, the donors of the white. Here are the official fight stage for race 1 to the top. Number 1, Wisco Tax Collector was second. Number 2, Hunt Club was the winner. Number 3, Fast Break was fifth. Number 4, Full Scoop was third. And number 5, Victory's Gunner was fourth. Time in the first quarter was 33 seconds. The half was in 1:06 and 2 fifths. The 3 quarters in 1:38 and 1 fifth. With a mile in 2:10 and 1 fifth. Top it should read 2:15, 3, 4 on the bottom. The mile in 2:10 and 1 fifth. First lifetime win for Hunt Club.
We have to mention that you and John Kineski are in a very exclusive club. I mean, very exclusive. OHHA past presidents that both own the track records here at Bowling Green. So that's pretty exclusive.
It happened the same year.
Yes.
Last year was a pretty memorable Wood County Fair for both John and I. I think first day of racing, we broke the track record with a pacer named Surfing the Canyon. We'll talk a little more about him later. And then the next day, Stony Ridgetop broke the track record on the trot. And he'll be here tomorrow to defend his Signature Series championship. So John's off to a good start. That was the pride of Pemberville there. John was the owner, trainer, driver, and the sponsor of the race was County Line Co-op, which is based in Pemberville, Ohio.
Can't get any more hometown than that, can you?
No. There's the payoffs for those that might be interested. $9 on the 2 to win, $2.80 to place, $2.10 to show. The 1 horse was $2.40, $2.10, and the 4 horse $2.10. The trifecta, 2 all paid $17, and the exact at 2-1 paid $23.20.
Some nice payoffs.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised that Hunt Club went off that. Must have been because he made a break last start that people were a little bit wary of him.
But with 2-year-old trotters, whether they're fillies or colt, and anything can happen.
Yeah, that's for sure. So the second race coming up is the first of 2 divisions of the 2-year-old filly pace. We're going to be going for a purse of $7,060. We're going to take we do have 1 scratch to tell you about. The 5 is Scratch Sick, and we have a driver change. The 6, Pink Lily. The driver will be Drew Neal.
We've got another driver yet to be determined on the 4.
Okay. All right, so we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with the second.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661. Dublin Valley Farms, home of Volstead sire of 2024 Ohio Horse of the Year Sugar Instead. Also standing at Dublin Valley Farms, Slay, a promising young son of Chapter 7 and Coach K Hanover by world record holder Walner. Looking for your next winner? Dublin Valley Farms and our clients are offering an exciting lineup of yearlings with current and fashionable pedigrees. Available at public auctions this year. Backed by a team that cares, Dublin Valley Farms, Fredericksburg, Ohio.
Midland Acres is proud to stand the prominent stallions, TCI, Long Tom, Ready for Money, Monty Mickey, Summa Cum Laude, and Bit of a Legend. With such great pedigree and speed in the stallion barn, Midland Acres will provide a diverse group of top yearlings in the sale ring for 2025. Visit us this fall at our consignments at the Blooded Horse Sale on August 26th, the Ohio Select Jug Sale on September 12th, and the Lexington Select Sale on September 29th through October 3rd. Let Midland Acres experience in the industry lead you to the winner's circle.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Okay, welcome back to Bowling Green. First race is in the book, so joined here with Steve Bateson. Steve, a couple weeks ago you gave me the rundown about how the 7 circuits kind of consolidated down into 4. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because we always get a lot of questions.
Yeah, so I don't remember exactly the timeline, but one of the things that we looked at is try to get more consistency at the county fairs, and Jerry Knappenberg was part of it, myself, Joe Ewing, and a few others. What we just simply looking at, when we had 7 circuits, we virtually had 7 different rules. We had multiple how we split purses, and a lot of people that were coming into the state buying horses weren't really familiar with the fair program, and we just thought it would be best if we could try to consolidate. And a couple of the circuits were having difficulty with maybe race secretaries or that might be retiring, so a couple of them decided to merge together under the what we ended up calling the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, and that was 4 of us, I think. It's Northwest Ohio, North Central, and I guess maybe 3, and the Buckeye Super Stakes. They consolidated all their fairs. A few of the fairs broke off into another circuit, which was the Western at the time. The Western ended up merging with the Ohio Colt circuit. And then we still had the Southern Valley, and the hometown remained pretty much unchanged. There was a few fairs maybe jockeyed from one to the other. So, we have 3 circuits and 1 conference, and and I think by and large what has happened is those other 3 circuits have kind of uniformed their rules, so to speak, and they work really hard to try to be uniform on how you can stake and so forth, and they've got a program that's a little different than the OFRC. I'd like to think at some point in time that we could all kind of have the same fair strategy, but ultimately the strategy that wins out is we all want what's best for the fairs and county racing, and it's working well for Ohio, and why fix something that doesn't need fixed. But we were at a point where there were some circuits that were struggling to keep fairs, and they were also just struggling to maybe have enough representation. So the OFRC was formed to try to help elevate some of those fairs that maybe were a little weaker. So that's kind of a short story to a long story is how that came about.
It's so nice now because there is this Buckeye Consortium, and it's everybody gets together and helps each other out, and when you have trouble it doesn't seem to be just circuit bound anymore. If somebody in one circuit's having trouble, the other circuits will help.
Yeah, and OFRC's participated in that and vice versa, and we've had some challenges at times, and I think probably over the last couple years we couldn't be more unified in our efforts. I mean, we may not be under one umbrella, but when you look at the staking guide, we print out a staking guide that's got all the staking information and nomination form for all those circuits. We've are the ones that kind of are the caretaker of the fair championship, and all fairs count in that and the points, and keep track of that as well.
Yeah, so it's a great collaboration, I think, between all the fairs, and we notice that a lot at the Ohio Fair Managers Conference when we have that in January, where all the fairs are there.
Well, here's the post parade with Mr. Peters. I thought.
I thought that we got a couple horses warming up still. Bob Rowland's out here warming up.
Yeah, you know,
Somebody?
there's no other state that operates the way Ohio does. Every other state, all their fairs are consolidated under one entity. You know, either the state organization or the horsemen's group handle it. Well, here in Ohio, I think we've got 66 county fairs racing. That's pretty daunting.
Yes.
And it's very unique. But with the number of horses that we have, it provides a good opportunity for trainers and owners to get their horses classified and raced, geographically what suits them.
Dogs for a purse of $7,060 and a blanket courtesy of Rosendale Hay. Number one is Mount Chaos, all by Hagerman Racing and Melinda Hertzberger of Mount Vernon, trained by Herman Hagerman, the member of Number two is Wine After Whiskey, all by Ryan and Nicole Stahl Republic, trained by Ryan Stahl. Number three is Jean's Baby Girl, all by Jeff Bassett Clients, trained by Pierce Henry. Number four is Lover's Waltz, all by Ivy Holdings of Apple Creek, Ohio, trained by Rodney Brooks, the driver of Coach the Bell. Number five, Speedy is Hills and Drawn, and number six is Pink Flood, all by Shelly Elser of Montana, trained by Jason Elser, the driver of Drew Neal. Play show, exact Troy Tucker wager here in race two. You catch the bars, you're trying to warm up after race two. Have your horse ready to come on the track when the horse of this race is going off. You're getting your horses ready for race three.
Okay, we'll take a closer look at the horses. This is the first of two divisions of the 2-year-old filly pace. Mount Camas, Emmanuel Miller will drive for Herman Hagerman. Hagerman Racing and Melinda Hirschberger own this Catch the Fire filly. It's out of an American Ideal mare, Anagata. This was a $4,000 purchase $4,500 purchase at the Blooded Horse sale. 4 starts on the year, has won 2 already. One at Marion in 2:12, and then again at Cortland in 2:6 and 2.
The number 2 is Wine After Whiskey, trained by Ryan Stahl, owned by Ryan and Nicole Stahl of Republic, and it will be driven today by Ryan Stahl. This is a homebred Rockin' Amadeus out of Lucille Amarone. She was a Ponderosa. This will be her 4th lifetime start. She has 2 wins on the season and 1/3. Has made $7,799, taking a mark of 201 at Bucyrus.
Jeannie's Baby Girl and Pierce Henry from the 3-hole. Pierce also trains this horse for owner-breeder Jeffrey Batt. A Dancing Yankee filly out of a Real Desire mare, Cashmere Dreams. 3 starts on the year, 2 seconds. Did make a break in both of those races that he finished second in, but did have a nice flat mile at Oak Harbor in 2:4 and 4.
The 4, Lover's Waltz, this Robert Brooks trained filly, is going to be driven today by Clifton Bell. The 2-year-old filly is owned by Ivory Holdings. Apple Creek, Ohio has 6 starts, 1 win, 3 seconds, and 1/3.
5 is scratched, so the 6 is Pink Lily. Drew Neal drives for Jason Elsner. Shelley Elsner is the owner of Rockin' Amadeus out of a Pilgrim's Punch mare, Punch's Pilgrim. The horse has had 3 starts this year, 1 win, 1/3. That win was at Oak Harbor in 2:02 and 1. So some of these are pretty speedy fillies.
Yes, this should be a pretty competitive race, I think. You can make a case for the 1, 2, 4. I think all of them look very competitive in here.
There they come. The first horse away is Mount Camas. On the outside second is Wine After Whiskey. Over got third along the way, it's Pink Flood. Racing fourth is Lover's Waltz. And the last horse is Jean's Baby Girl. As they make the turn out, head down the backside to race over that mark. Ryan Stahl now moves Wine After Whiskey on the outside gate. Coming back second is Mount Camas, driven by Emmanuel Miller. Racing third is Pink Flood, driven by Drew Neal. Fourth is Lover's Waltz, driven by Clifton Bell. And the last horse is Jean's Baby Girl, driven by Pierce Henry. First quarter was paced in 29 and 2 seconds. As they race around the number turns, come down past the stand for the first time. Wine After Whiskey shows on top by 2 lengths over Mount Camas. Racing in their third is Pink Living goes the end fourth, and now he's coming on the outside. It's Lover's Waltz, and right there fifth is Cheese Baby Girl. 5 seconds are well launched, and they're down to the half-mile mark. That's Ryan Stahl, line after Whiskey, bringing the horse to the half. The charging up on the outside, the corner of the pressure is Pink Living. Right third is Mom Cable. On the outside, fourth, Lover's Waltz, and the rail fifth is Cheese Baby Girl. First half, they in 101 and 2 fifths. They round the turn now, head down the backside, and race to the left 3/4 mile mark. The one that catches line after Whiskey. The closest horse second along the way is Mom Cable. On the outside, third is Pink Bud. Moving up on the outside, fourth is Lover's Waltz. After it, we have Cheese Baby Girl. Only about 3.5 lengths separate all 5 bellies as they go to the 3/4 mile mark. That's line after Whiskey with lead. After it, second, Mom Cable with Pink Bud on the outside, third. 3/4 space in 132 and 4 fifths. As they race around the upper turn, the head now Mom Cable takes over. Coming back second, line after Whiskey. Pink Lily still third on the outside. After rail fourth, Lover's Waltz, and fifth is Cheese Baby Girl. As they race third now, that's Mom Cable's line after Whiskey and Lover's Waltz. Line is going to be Mom Cable's, and here we go. Looks like Lover's Waltz got up for place with line after Whiskey to Joe. A mile and 2:05.
I missed the 3/4.
I did as well. Well, that was an interesting race. As the odd-on favorite ended up finishing third, Wine After Whiskey cut the mile out half in 1:01 and 2, which would seem like that's a nice pace, but I think the track might be a little tiring. The back half in that particular race was in 1:04 and 1, and took some early pressure from Drew Neal and Pink Lily, and that kind of really set it up really nicely for Emmanuel Miller. It was sitting, as Bill Peters would say, the golden chair, which is the 2-hole. So nice effort for the Herman Hagerman stable, picking up the win today. This will be the third win in 5 attempts for the one horse.
I thought that Wine After Whiskey, when I saw her at the half, was really doing really well because she was a little cantankerous in the post parade.
Yeah, was having trouble making the turn, and I don't know this for sure, but it had a line head pull on that I was wondering if it didn't really care for.
Yeah.
Camus, all by Hagerman Racing and Melinda Hertzberger, trained by Herman Hagerman, and given it this afternoon by Emmanuel Miller. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Rosendale Hay.
In the K&K Construction Winner's Circle there, Rosendale Hay, father-son presenting the blanket, Mark and Dakota Bevelheimer. Mark was a horse trainer himself and always helps out.
You do seem to have a lot of local help at this fair.
I wouldn't say a lot.
Okay.
We have Tyler Burris Lee. She married. She's always Tyler Burris to me, but she's the speed superintendent now and does a really good job of coordinating things. We just don't have that many local horsemen in Wood County anymore. We got a lot of people that like harness racing, but nobody trains here at the Wood County Fairgrounds. Here's the rundown from Bill.
Camus was the winner. Offer 2, Wine After Whiskey was third. Offer 3, Cheese Baby Girl was fifth. Offer 4, Lover's Waltz was second. Offer 5, Speedy as Him been drawn. Offer 6, Pink Lily was fourth. Time in the first quarter was 132 and 4 fifths, with a mile and 2:05 and 3 fifths. From the town of Shinri, 1:35, 2 scratch 4, a mile and 2:05 and 3 fifths. New lifetime mark for Mount King.
Second race in a row, we've had a $9 winner. The payoffs here are pretty good for the fair.
It is.
$9.80 to win. $3.80 to place, $3 to show. The 4-horse paid $8 to place, $6.80 to show, and the 2-horse paid $3 to show. The daily double 2-1, $24.80. Another trifecta that was 1 all paid $5.80, and a 1-4 exacta $36.40. We got a decent little crowd here. There must be some people wagering somewhere because these payouts are pretty good.
Yeah. I think a lot of times a lot of people sit right by the betting booths.
Yeah.
And they just sit there if they don't want to walk too far. But we do have a nice crowd, and there's a bit of a breeze coming in the grandstand.
Finally, that felt great.
That is really nice. But a little bit hot.
Yeah.
So
we got more
passports.
passports here. It keeps Susan busy with stickers. Well, looking ahead to the third race is a 3-year-old filly trot. Sponsor of this race is ProTech HVAC Solutions. ProTech HVAC Solutions, owned by Michael Lee. He actually trains horses and occasionally drives. He is the sponsor of this third race. Purse of $6,790. Full field of 6, so we'll have 1 trailer. Well, I guess actually a full field would be 7 here. We're allowed to have 2 trailers. And we've got multiple horses looking for their first win. We have 3 horses in this. Actually, there's only 2 horses in this race that have won this year. So we need to go to a break. We want to go through them now.
We'll take a short break.
All right.
The Ohio equine industry needs your help. I'm Scott Mogan, president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. With over 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. That means jobs that pump millions of dollars into the local economy and support thousands of families. For Ohio's equine industry to remain strong, we need to send a clear message to our legislators about the important role that the agricultural small businesses play in Ohio's economy. To do that, we need your help. PACER, the Political Action Committee for Equine Racing, helps support and inform on issues that could positively affect Ohio harness racing. Please consider a donation to PACER. To donate, visit our website at ohha.com or call 614-221-3650. Your donation will help keep harness racing strong in Ohio. Thank you for your support.
In Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm has the stallions you are looking for, like What the Hill, Uncle Peter, and In Range, as well as Branded by Lindy, Jug Winner Luz Perlman, Racing Hill, and Guardian Angel Oz. Hickory Lane will offer a host of Ohio-sired yearlings this fall, including 6 by In Range, 5 by Uncle Peter, 4 by Guardian Angel Oz, and 1 by What the Hill. Find out more at hickorylanefarm.com.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back to Bowling Green. It's like you've got, how many barns you got there on the backside?
There is 2 barns and 1 tent. So the one barn that you can kind of see just after the 3/4 pole is generally a 4-H barn, but they are using it for standard breds for these 2 days. The 4-H barn wasn't utilizing all of it, so we have standard breds there. Then the barn behind it, they really only use for standard breds. There's nothing that gets utilized for, so there's standard breds there, and then they have a portable tent that gets put up, and they have stalls in there. So I think rough count, maybe 90 stalls, or somewhere between 75 and 90, depending how many they get into the tent.
That is very nice.
Yes,
Very
yeah.
nice to
So
have that.
the only guys racing out of a trailer are those that choose to race out of
Yeah.
a trailer. So I'll
There are quite a few people that like to race out of their trailers. I think it's just, especially the bigger guys, the Cleggs, Weavers, and
yep.
Hank Levan. They seem to like to race. I think it's just more convenient for them.
We'll go through this next race. The again 3-year-old filly trotters. The one Tom hands it over. This Steve Novak trained filly. It's a long Tom filly. Will be driven today by Mark St. Louis. I know Mark was a little bit late getting here, but he thought he would be here. I haven't heard that he's not. This 3-year-old filly trotter is looking for her first win in her career. She's got 12 lifetime starts, but this year she's had 5 starts with 1 second. She's made $2,171. Jerry Michel owns the horse.
Tom's Julie, Mike High drives and also trains for Donald High. This filly is a long Tom out of a Muscles Yankee mare, Talbot Creek. 4 starts on the year, 1 win. That was at Bucyrus in 2, 6, and 4. Also has a 3rd place finish. Had 7 starts last year. Total lifetime earnings are $67.17.
The 3 horse, I think, is Suds and Ritz. Herman Hagerman trains this 3-year-old filly. Emmanuel Miller will be driving this 3-year-old filly. That's a What the Hill. Herman Hagerman Racing owns this horse along with Martin Yoder and Lucinda Belcher. Horse has 13 starts on the year, 3 wins, 1 second, 4 third place finishes. Has made $20,904, taking a mark at Northfield Park, 159-1. I'll note it took its lifetime mark as a 2-year-old in 159 flat at Scioto Downs.
LT Modana, Clifton Bell drives for Curtis Massey. Jeannie Massey, Patricia Jury, and Jim Mayers are the owners. A long Tom filly out of a credit winner mare, Holy Mary. This horse has had 7 starts this year, 1 second and a 3rd. Fastest mile recently was at Bellefontaine in 2, 6, and 1. Had 11 starts last year, did not have a win, so still looking for his first lifetime win.
The 6... we're on the 6, correct?
Yes.
The 6 horse.
No, 5. Sorry.
Extra Easy. I was doing the evens. This race I'm doing the extra Easy. This Larry Clayball trained filly is driven today. It's listed as Braden Rhodes. This 3-year-old What the Hill filly is also owned by Larry Clayball. Has 10 starts this season, no wins, 1 second and 3 thirds. Has made $3,999.
Gone in a Flash rounds out the field. He will start from the 2nd tier. Tom Moore Jr. trains and drives and partially owns along with Peyton Moore. And Uncle Peter filly out of a Mr. Levesque mare, Action on Levesque. 6 starts this year, has not got a win yet. Did have a 2nd and 3 thirds, made a little over $4,000. Fastest mile this filly trotted was at Oak Harbor in 2, 2, and 3. Had 9 starts last year with a win and a nice mark as a 2-year-old, a 58-2 at Scioto Downs.
Should note that horse is owned in partnership with his son Peyton, who's I believe he'll be maybe a junior this year at Napoleon High School, but loves going to the races with his dad. Always like those family connection horses.
Absolutely. A very nice story coming out about a guy from Canada that bought an Ohio-bred yearling, and he and his 9-year-old daughter work on this horse together, and they brought her down to Northfield, and she won a Buckeye Stallion Series. So
nice.
The little girl was extremely excited. There's going to be a nice story about them in the upcoming OHHA magazine. So anybody that's not a member, it would be worth the $25 associate membership just for this story. I'm telling you, it's a great one.
Nice. Who wrote the story?
Wes Mayberry, one of our new employees.
Here's the post parade, Mr. Peters.
Going for a purse of $6,790 and a blanket courtesy of ProTech HVAC Solutions. Number 1 is Tom Henson Over, owned by Jerry Michel of Westfield, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 2 is Tom's Julie, Followed by Don High and Farrington, trained over by Mike High. Number 3 is Suds and Rips. Followed by Hagerman Racing of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Mark Yoder of Mount Eaton, Ohio. Lucinda Belcher of Winchester, Kentucky. Trained by Herman Hagerman, the driver Emmanuel Mills. Number 4 is LT Modana. Followed by Gene Massey of Sycamore. Tricia Jury and Jim Bates of Cyrus. Trained by Curtis Massey, the driver of Colton Bell. Number 5 is Extra Easy. Owned and trained by Lawyer Clayball of Medina. The driver is Brayton Rhodes. And number 6 is Gone in the Flesh. By Tom Moore Jr. and Peyton Moore of the Bullhead. Trained by Tom Moore Jr. There's Win Play Show, Accept and Trifecta Wager here in race 3.
I think when we were talking about that our other cameraman, Steve Ulrich, is all the way at the top of the grandstand over there, so are the officials. So our announcer, Bill Peters, our presiding judge, Ryan Ratliff, and the associate judges, and Charter, Pam Weller, they are all up at the top of that grandstand also. They have a little tent, but some of them are right out in the sun. At least it looks like Pam and Bill are under that tent because they've got all the paperwork to do. So just a long hike up. You don't want to have to come up and down too many times up there.
No, I'm over it today.
Are you?
I think Steve's going to bring everything down for me.
Good. You were probably up there a number of times.
Yes.
But it is...
It's a lot of steps.
And nice to be able to accommodate it here, because otherwise before you guys figured this out, you would just see the stretch. You know, for anybody that was here, you'd see the stretch and some of the first turn, but not all of it, most of the second turn. But really made a big difference when you put that camera on the backside. I know we've had other fairs that said, hey, well, how about doing it here? But it's a lot of extra work to set up that.
I do feel like there's less stuff in the infield towards that far turn this year. It seems like there's more semis and water trucks and things like that last year. 'Cause I know we missed still some with the 2 cameras, a pretty good amount. And this year just doesn't seem as clustered.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now you get a pretty good view, and then you hit a tractor, and then you get a more of a view. Before it was like a very tiny little glimpse of the horses coming through that turn. Did turn out to be a really pretty day. Clouds are coming in, but I don't think there's any rain expected here.
And comes Tom's Julie, Suds and Rips, LT Modana with Extra Easy on the outside of the first gear. 1 trailer going to the flat.
So I believe that the horses are getting ready to go to the gate. I think it was John Ingram driving the Mike Webkenberg starting gate.
That's who I thought too.
I
couldn't get a good look.
thought I'd try to help the handle a little bit.
Oh, did okay.
Starting gate is rolling now.
No.
Okay,
You're gonna
can't
talk
see
to
the
somebody
gate.
at the fair board. Yes, I'll go into the building there. The administration office. They'll have somebody that's in charge of sound.
So we've got 5 on the gate, 1 trailer. This particular race goes just as printed. No changes at all in the race, which is sometimes unusual at a fair. We usually have quite a few driver changes.
One last look at the odds board.
There was a 1 to 9.
Now that's a
There's
show
the 3.
pool. There's a 1 to 9. So right now the 3, 2, 5 are what they're betting, but it looks like heavy on the 3.
There they come. Hey there, Austin, starting the first start away is Tom Julie. On the second, it's Suds and Rips. Going up third is Dawn at the Flush. After round fourth is Tom Hanson over. Coming in there fifth is Extra Easy. And the last horse is LT Modana. As they make the turn out, head down the backside to race over to the quarter-mile mark. Emmanuel Miller and Suds and Rips on top by 2 lengths. Running second is Gone to the Flex, driven by Tom Moore Jr. Third is Tom Hands It Over, driven by Mark St. Louis Jr. Fourth is Extra Easy, driven by Brayton Rhodes. Fifth, it is Mike Tom's Julie, driven by Mike High. And the last horse, LT Modana, driven by Clifton Bell. First quarter toiled in 30 and 4/5 seconds. As they race around the upper turn, go down past the stand for the first time. On there on the front end is Suds and Rips. Gone in a flight right there, close second. Third is Tom Hands It Over. Up on the outside fourth comes Extra Easy. Racing in there fifth is Thomas Julie. The last horse, LT Modana. Coming to the half-mile mark. Outside and Ritz by 2 lengths. After rail second is gone into place. Now coming up on the outside second is extra easy. Back to third is gone into place. And fourth is Tom hands it over. First half drawn in 102. As they're on the turn now, head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. Gone into place, goes off drive. Outside and Ritz now by 5 lengths. Running second is Tom hands it over. Third is Tom's Julie. Gone into place, back running fourth. Racing fifth is LT Modana. Last horse is extra easy. Going past that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Suds and Ritz by about 5 lengths. Over Tom hands it over. 3/4 started in 132 and 3/5. As I race around that upper turn to hit Peter. Still the lead is Suds and Ritz. Racing second, Tom hands it over. On the outside third is gone into place. After the fourth, Tom's Julie, followed by LG Modana. But past the stand, it's going to be Suds and Ritz. And here they all go. Gone into place, up for place. Tom hands it over to Joe. 1 mile and 2:04 and 4/5.
We had a heck of a race for second place. This race was pretty much decided shortly after the half, which you may not have been able to see at home, but we had a horse make a break and kind of stacked them all up behind there. The 6 horse made a break. The 1 was able to get through, but kind of chain reaction there. The 6 broke. I think the 5 broke as well. But it was all Emmanuel's to win or lose, as he just kind of walked away with that race.
And that makes 4 wins on the year for Suds and Ritz, 8 wins lifetime. That's pretty nice at this point in her career.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking at over 24,000 earned this year. It earned 27,000 last year, so that now has exceeded 50,000 in lifetime wins. It's got 8 wins in its career on 27 starts, so that's pretty impressive for this What the Hill filly. Gone in a Flash, despite the break, was able to bounce back and finish second today. That's its second time it's been second this year, so I'm sure they're tickled with that as well. That's 2 wins on the day for the Hagerman stable. Tyler Burris Lee and her son Colton are part of the presenters for this trophy, the ProTech HVAC Solutions.
There is a judge's inquiry in this race.
Yeah.
Please hold all mutual tickets and the results are given as official. It does not affect the winner. Now we'll make down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Going from Mount Vernon, Mount Eaton, Ohio, Winchester, Kentucky, comes number 3, Suds and Ritz. All by Hagerman Racing, Mark the Yellow Drift will send the Belcher, trained by Herman Hagerman, conducted this afternoon by Emmanuel Murray. Like of this race is courtesy of ProTech HVAC Solutions. That's a big hand here for Emmanuel Murray and Suds and Ritz. And the ProTech HVAC Solutions, the yard to the wire.
So we do have an inquiry, so we'll wait a little bit and see if they get that straightened out.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have been able to get a good look. I mean, we saw it here. The camera caught part of it, but the presiding judge is in the center, and we have an associate judge in the crow's nest here in the main grandstand.
Oh.
And then we have an associate judge down in the infield between the last turn. So there are three judges, and essentially the starter could also be questioned, but the presiding judge is, I believe, is in the infield up top there.
Yeah, I think during the race he was actually standing over by our cameraman, so he might have been able. Well, I don't know if he could have seen that where that happened. It's probably covered up by the stands.
Yeah, the horse that made the initial break, I believe, was the 6, and from there I'm not really sure if he interfered with anybody or not, but it did jam them up getting through that turn.
And I say this almost every broadcast, and I mean it, being a county fair judge is one of the hardest things to do, because your sight lines sometimes are not great.
The inquiry must be over because they've posted it.
Oh, okay.
So that the prices are up.
Places for race 3 from the top. Number 1, Tom Hanson Over was 3rd. Number 2, Tom Julie was 4th. Number 3, Suds to the Ritz was the winner. Number 4, LT Modano was 5th. Number 5, Extra Easy was 6th. Number 6, Gone Out of Place was 2nd. Time in the first quarter was 30 and 4 fifths. The half was in 102. The 3 quarters in 132 and 3 fifths. 1 mile and 204 and 4 fifths. The top is rate 341 562. A mile and 204 and 4 fifths. In the upcoming race 4, number 4, Paper at the Sea, the driver will be Brayden Rose. Brayden Rose will drive number 4, Paper at the Sea. Number 5, Legendary Photo has been scratched. Scratched the number 5 horse, Legendary Photo. Is a representative of Martian Sun Concrete, trackside athletics race for the token presentation.
Okay, those are our results for the third. Fourth race coming up is the first of 2 divisions of the 3-year-old Colt Pace. We'll have 1 scratch. The 5 horse is a scratch, and 1 driver change that we know about. This is a change on the change. So Vapor at the Sea, the 4 horse, will be driven by Brayden Rhodes now. So we will be back shortly take a look at the horses in the 4th.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Susan, do you want to talk to Stacy?
Yeah, I think that would be great if we could.
Did he take it? Do you have a minute?
We'll just you talk to her.
Here. Give her a headset.
Have you held a baby before?
We're not on the air yet.
Okay.
It's kind of sweaty. Yes. All right, I'm gonna go get a scalp rub.
Okay.
Are we back?
We're on.
Somebody got it.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we're back on here. I've got a guest here. Stacy Curry's got the headset on, and she occasionally goes to the fairs, but she's got a new little boy named Samuel. But I thought since Stacy was over here, I'd ask a few questions. Stacy's Canadian, and you've been going to the fair some and had some fun. Give us your impression of the Ohio Fair racing and what that's been like in your experience.
I think that it's excellent for the entire business, for the breed, and it really promotes, the Ohio sires. It gives a lot of horses places to race that maybe aren't as competitive in the sire stakes, and they're really enjoyable to go to.
You've got a 3-year-old Ohio bred that you acquired and going to some fairs with that one.
Yes, correct.
So today, you and Mark St. Louis brought a horse to race in the Signature Series. Tell us about what prompted you to bring Intrepid Ivy.
So he's a horse that we claimed in January of this year, and he's done really well for us, and he actually helped buy some things for Samuel. So he's become kind of special in the barn. He's lovely to have. So the fairs kind of give us a spot to just have fun and enjoy him. And, Delaware is a big incentive to try to get some points to do that. That's really exciting.
We had some fun doing that last year. So the funny thing about Intrepid Ivy, I think initially, he was bought to maybe make some money, and if he got claimed, he got claimed as part of the
Absolutely.
sport. But he's turned out to be more than that, right?
Yeah, he's lovely to have. That's for sure. So
tell us about the change to motherhood.
It's been a lot. I love being in the barn more than anything. So now it feels weird for me to want to, do something else so badly because the horses are everything. But also the business has helped me because I want to get out. And I think that's a big part of, being a new mom is getting out of the house and him being outside and everything. So it's a nice spot to be able to go and do that with him.
Well, I mean, he's certainly precious and appears to be growing well and enjoying his time out. So he's not being sheltered. So he's getting exposed to a lot. But I appreciate you coming on the air and putting you on the spot. And,
Thank you so much.
You're a welcome addition to Ohio.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
He's on the air now, so you can see a little guy there. Look pretty good doing that, Steve. So 4th race coming up. That was an enjoyable little interview with Stacy Curry and young Samuel. I think it's always I love it when the kids are in the winner's circle, and he's a little bit too small to put in the bike seat yet, but I'll bet he'll be in pretty soon.
Yeah, it won't be long, I don't think.
He's very little, and he was a little bit premature. I'm not going to go through the whole story on the air, but he's very fortunate, and Mark and Stacy are very tickled. I think they'll be excellent parents for him, and hard-working group, Mark and Stacy.
Yeah.
They don't have any help. They manage their own stable and do a really nice job.
It does change things when that baby comes, because you're especially somebody like those two, they're so focused on the horses, and that it becomes your entire life. And now you've got this new little one. It does changes things.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the first division of the 3-year-old colt pace. Going for a purse of $7,095 and a blanket courtesy of March & Sons Concrete LLC. Number 1 is Groove, all by Stephen Reed, said J.D. Weller, Republic, trained by J.D. Weller, the driver of Rod Allen Jr. Number 2 is It's Time to Cody, all by Thomas Little IV of Eastburn, New York, trained by Robbie Brooks, the driver of Cookson Bell. Number 3 is Spartan Hill, all by Jerry Mindful of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver of Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 4 is Vapor at the Sea, by Hagerman Racing of Mount Vernon, Ohio, Roger Hoover of Intermission, Ohio, trained by Herman Hagerman, the driver of Braden Roads. Number 5, Legendary Photo has been drawn. Number 6 is Remarkably Smart, by Mick Foster of Lucky, trained by Ty Bates, the driver of Judy. Number 7 is Ricky Merlo, by Ryan and Nicole Stahl of Republic, trained by Ryan Stahl. There's win, play, show, accept, and trifecta wagering here in race 4. Attention large, you find a warm up.
So that is your field for the 4th. From the rail, we got Gru and Rod Adams Jr., trainer Janie Weller. Stephen Reese and Janie Weller are the owners. A bit of a legend and gelding out of a Mach 3 mare. 4 starts on the year, has 2/3, was finished 3rd at Tiffin last start in 59-4. Came home on that fair track 29-3.
The 2, It's Time to Cody, trained by Robert Brooks. This 3-year-old Lost in Time colt is a roan. So take a look at that if you see on TV, kind of a unique color. Has had 10 starts, no wins, no seconds. 1/3 has made $2,113. This horse is owned by Thomas Little, Eastburn, New York.
And Spartan Hill and Mark St. Louis Jr. from the 3. Steve Novak trains. Gerald Meigel is the owner of this Racing Hill gelding. It's out of a Sunshine Beach mare, Sweet Sun. 7 starts on the year, 2 wins. Most recent win was at Bellefontaine in 2-2. Had 8 wins last year as a 2-year-old, so had a really stellar year as a 2-year-old with a mark of 55-3.
Number 4, Vapor at the Sea. Herman Hagerman trains this horse. Emmanuel Miller will be driving this 3-year-old gelding. Down by the seaside is a sire. Owner is Hagerman Stable, Mount Vernon, Ohio, and Roger Harold, Edgerton, Ohio. 10 starts, no wins, 1 second and 1/3. Took a mark last year, a 202 at Paynesville.
Legendary Photo is a scratch, sick. And the 6 horse, Remarkably Smart, Drew Neal drives for Tyler Bates. Mick Foster is the owner. He's sitting right up here behind us, so we'll expect some cheering from Mick. This is a Racing Hill gelding out of a Some Beach Somewhere mare, Serene Stride. 17 starts this year, already 4 wins, 1 second, 2/3. Has earned $28,000 and has a mark of 152 at Scioto.
The 7 horse is Ricky Merlot. Ryan Stahl trains, Ryan Stahl drives. It's owned by Ryan and Nicole Stahl, Republic, Ohio. Has 10 starts this year, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 1/3. Has made $14,862. Took a mark at Northfield Park in 157. This is a 3-year-old Rockin' Amadeus. Last start at Tiffin, came in 2nd and paced in 2 minutes and a 1/5. Pretty nice field of horses. I would say, looking at the odds board, I would expect the 6 and 7 to be the favorites, but don't have the odds board up there. But 6 and 7 will be coming from the 2nd tier, which will make it a little bit interesting here. So we'll have 4 on the gate, and we'll have 2 in the trailer position. The horses are lining up back there. I would expect a decent speed. This 6 horse that Mick owns is a big Racing Hill horse. Be curious to see how he handles getting around the track here. Raced at Oak Harbor and got parked, but it, still paced in 59-1. Last start paced in 52-2 at Scioto.
Yeah, he's been racing super at Scioto.
Yes.
And non-winners of 4 condition claimers. So let's turn it over to Bill Peters for the call of the 4th. Oh.
It's time to go. The fourth is Ricky Merlo. Racing in their business, Vapor at the Sea. Last horse is Remarkably Smart. They're going to turn out it down the backside. Race for that for Mark St. Louis has Spartan Hill down by 2 miles. He's second is Drew, going by Rod Adams Jr. In their third is Ricky Merlo, going by Ryan Stahl. 4th is the time to go. You know what comes to the battle. 5th is Vapor at the Sea, going by Braden Roads, and the last horse is Remarkably Smart, going by Drew Neal. First quarter pace in 30 and 3/5 seconds. The racer out of the turn now passed in the first time. That's Spartan Hill by 2 miles. Group faces in their second, followed by Ricky Merrill third. It's time to Cody racing in their fourth. While the back fifth comes Baby Red Sea and the last horse remarkably smart. Front four pretty well much to come to the half-mile mark. Spartan St. Louis and Spartan Hill bringing the horses to half mile by Groove. First half pace in 1-1 for fifth. That's around the turn down, hit down the backside, race the last quarter-mile mark. The one to catch is Spartan Hill. The closest horse second is Groove. Up on the outside, third comes Ricky Merrill and also moving this time Cody. Racing in there fifth is Big Red Sea and the last horse remarkably smart. Going to the 3/4 mile mark. That's Spartan Hill by 2 lengths. Up on the outside, second Ricky Merrill and Groove, the real third. Followed by his time Cody fourth. 3/4 at 1:32. And the race around the return to the that's just Spartan Hill away by Groove, the close to second. Racing to Ricky Merrill, it's time to Cody on the outside fourth. And the race to the lane. That's Spartan Hill and Groove, Cody on the outside. Spartan Hill, Groove. Spartan Hill, wider and wider. And welcome. Groove overplays Ricky Merrill show. Mile and 202 and 2 minutes.
So that mile in 2:02 and 2, you know, because we're sitting right by this TV, that's a remarkable shot coming down the lane, Matt. They're so crisp and clear and so close. It's really good.
It almost makes you want to watch the TV versus watching it live. And I was almost going to say the exact same thing because as they turned, I looked at the screen and I watched the screen.
Yeah, it was an amazing shot. Very cool.
It's an old TV too. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
That right there was a very well-driven race, and Mark might have caught a break. A couple of the what I would consider favorites had to come from the second tier, and he was able to get to the front. Relatively soft half and 101 and 4. Stepped it up a little bit on the backside, but pretty evenly fractions. Unfortunately, the 6 made a break before they even start, and I gotta wonder if that horse had ever been in the trailing position, because he really didn't appear to like at the head of the stretch, and that's a different feeling for a horse not to go and get to the gate. And he acted up there, and really was never in contention. And the 7 horse coming from the second tier had to work his way through the field just to get to third.
Spartan Hill, all by Jerry Michael, trained by Steve Novak, and debuted this afternoon by Mark St. Louis Youth. Flanker for this race is courtesy of Marsh & Sons Concrete LLC.
Marsh & Son Concrete, the sponsor of this blanket.
That's a big hand there for Mark St. Louis Jr., Nicole Brayton, Brian Novak, and Spartan Hill at the Marsh & Sons Concrete. The doors are away.
We should have the rundown in just a second for you.
I think it was 3.
There are the official
Here we
placings
go.
for race 4 from the top. Number 1, Drew was second. Number 2, it's time to Cody was fourth. Number 3, Spartan Hill was the winner. Number 4, Big Red Sea was fifth. Number 5, Legendary Photo had been drawn. Number 6, Remarkably Smart was sixth. And number 7, Ricky Merrill was third. Time of the first quarter was 30 and 3/5. The half was in 101 and 4/5. The 3/4 in 132 and 3/5. For the mile and 202 and 2/5. Count it should read 2, 4, 1, 5, scratch 6, 3 at the bottom. The mile at 202 and 2/5. In the upcoming race 5, number 2, Olive Hill, make the driver Trujillo. Trujillo drive number 2, Olive Hill in race 5. The representative of Hot Plumbing and Heating, trackside at this next race for the trophy presentation.
You say Ott Plumbing?
Yeah.
All right. Benny Ott,
Yeah.
longtime owner.
We talked about how good the view was on the camera, and on the backside, as the horses are going down the backside, you can see looks like a railroad station.
Yep.
What is that back there?
So that railroad station was relocated, and I might be wrong, but I thought it was relocated from Weston, Ohio, and brought here. It's an old depot. So that was a station that I don't remember how it was donated. Years ago, that railroad, they used to have models in there, and it was kind of a display. I'm not exactly sure now what they utilize it for, but there's some history behind it. I'm sure somebody might be listening to the broadcast, but I believe it was relocated, I thought, from Weston, Ohio, and brought here to the Wood County Fairgrounds, and it's kind of resided back there. The fire station, we have fire on staff here, and they're set up back there if something would happen. They're real close by there. But this is a really big fairgrounds. If you've never been up in Northwest Ohio, if you get a chance to come to the Wood County Fair, it runs through next Sunday. But it's a big fairgrounds, decent number of livestock exhibitors here, and lot to see. And you can kind of see the setup for the tractor pull. If you like a lot of noise and a lot of tractors, third week of August, the National Tractor Pull here in Bowling Green, they kind of call Pull Town, USA.
It must be really noisy.
It's pretty loud. And I enjoy it. I come about every 5 years for about an hour. but no, there's a lot of sights and sounds here, and people from all over the country come to Bowling Green, Ohio. A lot of Canadians and people from out west will come, and you just can't believe, the setups and rigs that people, bring here, and the camping is unbelievable. The whole back part is full of campers, and really good for the local economy here.
Oh, I'll bet.
It's big time for the Wood County economy.
Certainly sounds like it. To let you know, Eaton is up on Facebook and YouTube, Matt?
The link to
link.
YouTube is on Facebook.
Okay, so you can watch that too. If you got two screens, you can have Bowling Green up on one and Eaton on the other. I just finally got my phone going so I can check your comments. We've got a lot of people. Scott Carlton lost his power, but he finally got it back, so good. Rod Cooper's watching from Eaton, watching us here. So
excellent!
That's
excellent.
it. That's always a good idea to go to a fair and watch us for the other fair.
We're just looking here at the payoffs for last race again. If you're able to pick a winner at Bowling Green, they've 3 of the 4 races have paid greater than $6. The last winner was $6.40 to win, $5 to place, and $4.80 to show. $5 to place and $4.80 to show on the 1 horse, and the 7 horse played $3.80 to show. So there is some wagering, and hopefully some folks are making some nice money here at the Wood County Fair. We turn to the 5th.
Yep, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll
right.
come back for the 5th.
Cool Winds Farm is one of Ohio's premier standardbred breeding farms. Cool Winds stands the popular Dancin' Yankee, Jug winner Southwind Aussie, and the royally bred Western Fame. Cool Winds Farm is proud to present our yearling consignments at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 12th, and at the Standardbred Horse Sale in Harrisburg during the cool winds of November.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
Who feeds your need for new ideas for your family's best farm future? Ohio Farm Bureau. We work with our members to shape ag policy that will positively impact our industry. Farm Bureau is advancing business solutions to give you a competitive advantage. We help you gather information to stay ahead of important topics and technologies. Plus, Ohio Farm Bureau creates opportunities for growth. Ohio Farm Bureau, feeding your need for new ideas.
Okay, welcome back to the Wood County Fair here in Bowling Green, Ohio, up in the northwestern side of the state. We've got lots of people watching. We had a really good crowd watching with us last night, so we appreciate everybody hanging with us all night. Being as we went 19 races, well, Matt said we were on the air for 7 hours, and I know some of you were on the air with us for the whole time. So we thank you for that. Bob Roberts was with us last night, did an excellent job. He's always such a joy to have on the show with us. A lot of experience, but I have to tell you, he is 100% a handicapper because he has so many charts and everything with him to figure this all out, how the horses had been racing in the past. He goes way beyond just looking at the program, so kind of fun to learn about that also. Had a lot of people stopping by with their passports get stamped, so it's not too late. If you haven't gotten yours yet, you can always stop by at the next fair you're at and come to the broadcast booth. We've all got them with us, carry those with us, and get your stamps. Just kind of, even if you don't get too many stamps, it's just kind of a fun souvenir to have of your summer journey around the state of Ohio. So as we said, we've got the Eaton is up now. They were having some internet trouble, couldn't get going for a while, but they must have got going right on time because I believe they started at 1. So hello to everybody that's watching. My friend Del Moldenhauer from Wisconsin watching. So hi, Del. We talk about the racing officials that we have. Tyler Burris is the speed superintendent. Cody Barn, the track superintendent. Speed committee member Donald Beechine. Ryan Ratliff, our presiding judge. Bill Peters, the race secretary and announcer. And Pam Weller, our charter clerk of courses, also Bill Peters. So he's a really busy guy up there on top of the grandstand. Ken Drumlinger is the track photographer, so if you ever want to get some pictures, maybe you're just a fan of a certain horse and you want to have a picture, you can always get Ken Drumlinger. He is here today. Brad Conrad does a tremendous amount of the fairs for us. Mike Webkenberg, starting gate.
Offer for $6,930 and white jersey at Hot Plumbing and Heating. Number 1 is Cowboy 3. Home and trained by Bob Brown of Jackson, Michigan. Number 2 is Olive Hill. Owned by Chris Easterday of Bucyrus, Ohio. Trained by Carl Easterday Jr., the driver Drew Neal. Number 3 is TC's Naughty Boy. Owned by Jay and Louise Weller of Republic. And actually trainer in the basket. Trained and driven by Jay Weller. Number 4 is Fuck Fuck. Owned and trained by Ernie Harris of Stand Creek, Michigan, the driver of Pierce Center. And number 5 is Dublin Felix. Owned by Hagerman Racing of Mount Vernon, Ohio. Ron Burks of Slayton, Texas. Trained by Herman Hagerman, the driver, Emmanuel Bell. There's Wing Place Show, Accepta, and Trifecta Weight here in race 5. Pay attention to the barns. You find the warm up after race 5. Have your horse ready to go on the track when the horses that's ready to go off. Getting your horses ready for race 6.
I looked in the starting gate, and I think it is John Ingram driving the starting gate, and his wife Tiffany handling the wheel. And we always talk about the starter, but boy, those people that are driving that car
absolutely
really have a tough job.
So I think John was here last year, and actually I think last year was the first that Mike Wepkenberg had his starting car here. And I talked to John last year a little bit about the nuances of starting here, because every fair is a little bit different. When they're all half-mile tracks. But what I mean by the nuances is where the pull-off point is, the acceleration point. Here at Bowling Green, typically, once they start, they will pull up to the right towards the administration building and have the gates folded and stopped. Years ago, they would go completely around to the backside and try to stop back there, but it's a little narrower. But every fair will kind of have its exit point to get the horses past them.
Yeah.
And we talked about that a little bit, John and I did, prior to, starting here. And you'll always see the starters show up a little early, and they'll run through a mock session and drive through and kind of get a flavor for it. But you're absolutely right. The driver of the car is the one putting it in the right place. The starter's job is, to basically get them all lined up there properly. He'll do the acceleration point and the wings, but the driver's got to remain straight, to keep the gate in the proper position for the horses.
Which is definitely not easy. I got to do it a couple times at the Virgil Morgan's Training Center when they were schooling horses, and so I took that, and it's not easy to do.
No, no.
I kept having to be told, go down a little, go down. So let's look at the horses quick in this race. Bob Rowland trains, drives, and owns the one Tomboy's Dream, a long Tom out of a Tom Ridge mare, Ruffles and Ridges. This horse has just had 2 starts, finished back both starts, but better today.
The 2-horse Olive Hill, driven today by Drew Neal. Carl Easterday Jr. is the trainer and owners. Had 4 starts, 1 win. Mark a 2:04 at Marysville.
TC's Naughty Boy, Jay Weller up. Jay also trains for Jay and Louise and Ashley Brainard. A Triumphant Caviar with 1 win on the year, 2-6 at Bucyrus.
The 4, What Luck. Ernest Ayers trainer. Pierce Henry will drive this What the Hill colt. It's 4 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds. Made almost $10,000, a mark at 2-6-1 at Tiffin.
And here comes that Manny Miller and Herman Hagerman duo again for Dublin's Felix. Hagerman racing Ronald Lemar Burks, and an Enterprise out of a Muscle Hill mare. 3 starts on the year, has been making a few breaks, so we hope he keeps flat today.
Should be an interesting race. We've got a few already acting up behind the gate.
There they come. Here, up and running the first horse away is Olive Hill. On the outside second is What Luck. Going up third is Dublin's Felix. In their fourth is Tomboy's Dream, and the last horse after going offside is TC's Naughty Boy. As they make the turn now, head down the backside to race over that quarter-mile mark. Now Pierce Henry moves What Luck up the 8-command mile length and a half. In their second is Olive Hill, going by Drew Neal. Third is Dublin's Felix, shown by Emmanuel Miller. Fourth is Tomboy's Dream, driven by Bob Brown, and the last horse, TC's Naughty Boy, driven by Jay Wells. That's that quarter-mile mark. That's What Luck by 2.5 lengths over Olive Hill. First quarter trotted in 30 and 2/5 seconds. As they race around the upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's still What Luck by 2.5 lengths. Right there, second is Olive Hill. Third is Dublin's Felix. Fourth, Tomboy's Dream. The last horse, TC's Naughty Boy. No change as they come to the half-mile mark. That's Pierce Henry and What Luck bringing the horses down to the half. Sitting in the goal, 10 seconds. That's Drew Neal with Olive Hill. Going in third is Dublin's Felix. First half trotted in 102 and 2/5. As they're on the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark, they've got to catch What Luck. The closest horse second is Olive Hill. Third is Dublin's Felix. Racing in their fourth is Tomboy's Dream. The last horse, TC's Naughty Boy. Going to the 3/4 mile mark now, What Luck opens up about 3.5 lengths on Olive Hill. Still racing third is Dublin's Felix. And comes Tomboy's Dream and TC's Naughty Boy. 3 quarters trotted in 133 and 4/5. As they race around the upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still What Luck for the lead. 4.5 lengths back, second is Olive Hill, and third is Dublin's Felix. As they race through the lane, it's What Luck and Olive Hill. Looks like the money for this race is going to go to Sand Creek, Michigan, with What Luck up for second, Olive Hill up for third, is Dublin's Felix. A mile in 2:05 and 3/5.
So What Luck and Pierce Henry just looked like they went right to the top and wire-to-wire win. 2, 5, and 3.
Nice homebred horse. Was trying to pull up I thought this
That's a half brother to Hydroplane and Henry.
is that what it is?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, well, there.
And Hydroplane and Henry. He did just get beat at Tiffin, but that was by Nelly Up, a horse of Ryan Miller's, who's a very legitimate Buckeye Stallion Series horse, and he didn't get embarrassed by him by any means.
Well, I was asking Susan. I knew this horse had some offspring that were pretty legit, and I could not come up with who it was. So thank you for that. I was just looking to see how many offsprings they had with this horse.
I don't know if that was the dam of Hydraulic Hazel or not. I don't think so. I think that was Desert Sunset was the dam of
Yes.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Into the winner's circle, and the winners go. Coming in from Sand Creek, Michigan, comes number 4, Luck. Owned and trained by Ernie Ayers. Driven back this afternoon by Pierce Henry. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Up Plumbing and Heating. That's a big hand here for Ernie Ayers, Ellen Belmore, Pierce Henry, and What Luck. And the Hot Plumbing and Heating, the owners of the white.
Nice looking colt. Does not have, just got a pair of trotting boots on, and I think that's it.
Yeah. This is the first time Pierce has driven that horse. Greg Bateson normally drives it. It made one little bobble at Oak Harbor and came back and finished second. But 3 out of 5 now this year. It's hit the board in every start. Earnings today will now push it to what? About 13,000.
There are the official placings for race 5 from the top. Number 1, Cowboys Green was 4th. Number 2, Olive Hill was 2nd. Number 3, TC's Naughty Boy was 5th. Number 4, What Luck was the winner. And number 5, Dublin's Felix was 3rd. Time in the first quarter was 30 2/5. The half was in 102 2/5. The 3 quarters in 133 4/5. With a mile in 205 3/5. Top to 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, 3 at the bottom. A mile in 205 3/5. New lifetime mark on What Luck.
Okay, so we've got 5 in the books. The 6th race coming up is the second of 2 divisions of the 2-year-old filly pace. And when we come back from these commercials, we're going to talk to Steve a little bit about the Buckeye Stallion Series and if it exceeded his expectations.
All right.
Dublin Valley Farms, home of Volstead Sire of 2024 Ohio Horse of the Year Sugar Instead. Also standing at Dublin Valley Farms, Slay, a promising young son of Chapter 7 and Coach K Hanover by world record holder Walner. Looking for your next winner? Dublin Valley Farms and our clients are offering an exciting lineup of yearlings with current and fashionable pedigrees, available at public auctions this year. Backed by a team that cares, Dublin Valley Farms, Fredericksburg, Ohio.
Make summer memories this year at the Ohio County Fairs. The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be live streaming every race this year, and we want you to be there. Be a part of the excitement with the 2025 Ohio County Fair Racing Passport. Stop by the OHHA broadcast location in the grandstand to pick up your passport and stamp. Get stamps at every fair you attend. Prizes will be awarded to those that attend the most racing programs. Get your passport at the first fair you attend or call the OHHA office at 614-221-3650. Harness Racing, the fastest ride at the fair. The roots of harness racing are born at the county fair. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 22 fairs in 20 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Fair Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
You want to stay at the fairs, don't you? Yes. Don't Let him lose. He gets the award for having the first passport all year. You got the very first one that we gave out. Pretty cool.
Yes, I was an early bird.
You were. He was waiting at Paulding.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I missed that one, man. I was wanting that homemade ice cream there.
Yeah, yep.
But it's so cold though, man. You don't eat it still, but you get brain freeze.
We're back. We're back. We just had a quick visit with Mr. Colton Lee, one of the junior fair directors, I'd call him around here.
Yes.
He's been all over the place this morning.
He has. He was waiting for us at Paulding for his passport. So he got the first passport of the year. And I just asked him if he was going back to school, and he goes, yeah. He said, not looking forward to going back to school. He'd rather be at the fair. So we've got him and the little veneer guy that down here. That I would say that they're both, around 7, 8, 9 years old, something like that. But such great fans. This little guy, he is glued to the races.
He's into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's about how I was at that age. Got a little older than that, and I had to team up with somebody that looked legitimate to be able to bet for me. So I enjoyed betting at the county fairs at a very young age.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
admit to that now. But
still contributing.
Oh yeah. I mean, the fairs have to pay a setup fee for pari-mutuels, and not to get into the nuts and bolts of the economics, but I do think pari-mutuel wagering does give some people that one opportunity a year to wager on horse racing, because a lot of times they don't go to the pari-mutuel tracks. And up here in Northwest Ohio, we've got a cavity because we don't have Toledo Raceway Park anymore. So if you want to watch standard-bred harness racing, you got to go to the county fairs for the most part, unless you want to drive 2 hours. So this is kind of the only time if you want to have some fun and bet, $2, $4 on a horse. And, we don't have enough wagering that you really be able to pay for these pari-mutuel guys to go from fair to fair to fair and set up. So fairs pay a slight setup fee, and with the wagering and their takeout, you hope that the fair breaks even. And I do think there's people that won't go to the fairs if they can't wager on them.
Yes.
And it's not that they're addicted to gambling; they just like to have fun and bet their $2. I ran into I won't say their names on air, but I ran into a lady I know very well and had 3 or 4 grandchildren with them. She goes, this has been great entertainment for them. They've picked multiple winners. Each grandchild got to have a $2 wager, and they're each picking horses, and she's walking them back and forth to the betting booth, and they're having a big time down there.
That's fun.
So, yeah, I think horse racing can be kind of cheap entertainment, to go watch. And the one thing about horse racing, we kind of lost this, unfortunately, everybody with phones, but between races, what people actually did? They actually used to talk to each other and look at each other and, maybe talk about the next race or something that's going on. And, in this era of instant gratification and, everybody's trying to keep their dopamine levels at a certain level as they're looking at their phone constantly. But county fair racing takes me back to a time where, I really enjoyed. And there's a gentleman sitting about 10 rows behind me that was a sports writer here in Bowling Green for a number of years named Jack Carl, and he always covered the races and wrote stories about it. And he did a couple pieces for OHHA years ago, but we used to go to a lot of county fairs together, around here in Napoleon and Tiffin, always to the Little Brown Jug. But those things I remember growing up, or these guys that went from county fair to county fair and watched these horses and kept notes and would wager on them at the next fair.
Yeah, it was. You had to keep your own notes back then because you didn't have a past performance page that we have now.
Nope. It would say something like, Billy Dart, 6 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, made $3,200. You had no idea if it had made 3 straight breaks or what.
Right.
That's all you had to go off of. And a lot of times you were betting on the driver or betting on the colors. As a youngster, I gravitated to certain colors that I liked and I remembered, and those drivers. And it's just so much different now, and it's hard for me to put that same enthusiasm into a young person, to enjoy harness racing. But they're out there, and I get a kick out of seeing, a young grandchild like we were seeing there that we think's Dan Venier's grandchild. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and when I first got here, he said, "I just want you to know that the 4-horse in the first race is a half brother to so and so."
Here comes Charlie B. Yeah.
Yeah. So he pretty interested.
He travels with Dan and Cheryl quite a bit. Like he's out in the winter circle a lot. So I don't think he misses many races.
Well, I
think
he looks like he's just about ready to be able to help them, and I can tell you they'll welcome the help because they are a hard working family, and very, very good stable. Dan has his own track. It's right there on State Route 23. I won't give you the exact address, but it's on State Route 23. He actually sits not in Wood County. He's on the other side of the road, which would be Sandusky County, but his address is Pemberville, which is a Wood County address. But they've got a very nice farm and a nice half-mile track, and does about everything himself, him and Cheryl. Had some very good horses, raced in the jug last year with Rose Run Zane.
Yeah. And now, that's something that you just dream about, to be able to race in the jug.
Yeah. I think if you were to ask Dan, I think, every race is, equally important. I know that was, very special to him, but he's had some very good horses and won at a pretty high level. And, Rose Run Zane has come back this year and is starting to really race well at Scioto and a couple other places. I think he won at Scioto a week or two ago in 48 and a piece.
He had the track record there for a while. I don't know if that stands still, but, to have it at all,
right.
No matter how long, that's something.
Correct.
So the family atmosphere here is still, we may not see it as much in the grandstand, but it certainly is back at the barn.
Yeah. You go back in the barn and you'll have grandchildren and nieces and cousins, or whoever likes a horse. They'll find something for you to do. Yep.
Good place for kids.
I'm hoping to have a little bit of time to go back there and walk around a little bit. This was always one that I can go back there and I'll know just about everybody back there from a long time ago, and I really enjoy this fair for that reason.
Yeah. Well, we got Bill Peters here on the post parade for the 6th.
Owned and trained by J.D. Weller of Republic, the driver Rod Allen Shoot. Number 2 is Yankee Moonlight, all by Champ Stables LLC of Hudson, Michigan, trained and driven by Ed Conrad. Number 3 is Climate, all by L&L Defessor LLC of Holland, Michigan, trained by Joe Siegman, the driver Jared Siegman. Number 4 is T. Swifty Bay, all by Watson Harness Racing, Kendall Stuckey and Nicole Weininger of Tiffin, Ohio, Billy Hart of Carmel, Maine, trained and driven by Ryan Stahl. Number 5 is Bankroll Body, owned and trained and driven by Derek Flowers of Tiffin. And number 6 is Kathy's Clown, all by Jerry Migel of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver Mark St. Louis Jr. There's Win, Place Show, Exacta, and Price Mark to wagering here in race 6. Hurry and don't be shut out. Your test the barn, you plan to warm up after race 6. Have your horse ready to go on the track when the horse of this race is going off. Getting your horses ready for race 7.
Let's take a look at race 6. 1 horse, Common Rock. Janie Weller trains. Rod Allums Jr. will drive. This 2-year-old filly, Summa Cum Laude, has 1 start. This will be its 2nd lifetime start. It's yet to earn any money, but made its debut at Tiffin, pacing in 2.7 and 4/5.
Yankee Moonlight and Ed Conrad from the 2-hole. Ed also trains this Yankee Cruiser filly, owned by Gem Stables out of a Liz Marie mare, Always Sunday. Has had 3 starts, had a 3rd place finish at Oak Harbor, and in 2.6 and 4.
Climate is the 3-horse. Jarrett Siekman is the driver. Joe Siekman is the driver, owned by L&L Deviser, Holland, Michigan, making its first debut start for money. This 2-year-old down by the seaside out of a rock and roll dance mare, coming off of 3 straight qualifiers, and looks like it's sold at Harrisburg for $25,000.
T Swifty Babe, Ryan Stahl trains and drives. This is a summa cum laude out of a Real Desire mare, Rio Ravishing. Watson Harness, Jay Stuckey, Hart, and Wenninger are the owners. 4 starts this year, 2 seconds. His last second was at Tiffin in 2-4. Also paced mile in 2-2 and 2 at Bucyrus.
Bankroll Bonnie is the 5-horse. Derek Flowers trains, Derek Flowers drives, Derek Flowers owns, and he now resides in Tiffin, Ohio. This 2-year-old filly, by Well Said, has had 4 starts, no wins, no seconds, 3/3, has made $2,733 and is by a Mach 3 mare.
Kathy's Clown, Mark St. Louis Jr. up for trainer Steve Novak and owner Gerald Meigel. A Dancing Yankee out of a Jerome's Jet mare, Jet's Dream. 4 starts on the year, 1 win. That was at Tiffin in 2-2 and 4. Also won a qualifier earlier at Northfield in 59 and 4.
Kind of a wide open race here. Looks like all the money is right now on the 6 at 1-9. The rest of them are all double digits except for the 3 and the 4. I'll be curious how this 3 does in its first lifetime starts. I believe it is trained on a half-mile track. Okay. I think Seekmans have their own track in Indiana. They made a little bit of a jaunt here today. Father-son combination here. Be interesting to see how this down by the seaside, pretty nicely bred horse makes its debut.
Yeah, he's only been on the 7/8 mile track at Hoosier Park.
Yeah, the 6-horse does show that it's been in the trailer position twice at Marion and Paulding and came in second both times.
Here they come. There, off and facing the first horse away is Climate. Down the second is Common Rock. Up on the outside third is T Swifty Babe. At the rail fourth, is Yankee Moonlight. Moving up on the outside fifth is Bankroll Bonnie. The last horse off stride is Kathy's Fun. As they make the turn now to hit down the backside to race over the quarter-mile mark, Jared Seekman has Climate on top by 2 lengths. Racing in there second is Common Rock, followed by Rod Allen Jr. Third is T Swifty Babe, followed by Ryan Stahl. Fourth is Yankee Moonlight, followed by Ed Conrad. Moving up on the outside fifth is Kathy's Fun, followed by Mark St. Louis Jr. The last horse, Bankroll Bonnie, followed by Derek Flowers. First quarter paced in 29 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around the number 2, go down past the stand to the other side. Up still Climate with the lead. Kathy's Clown now racing up second on the outside. Up the rail third is Common Rock. Racing fourth is T Swifty Babe. Fifth is Yankee Moonlight. The last horse, Bankroll Bonnie. Past the half-mile mark. That's still Climate with the lead. With Kathy's Clown on the outside second and moving up third now, T Swifty Babe. First half paced in 101. As they round the turn now to hit down the backside to reach over the 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Climate. The horse pouring on the pressure on the outside second is Kathy's Cloud. T Swifty Babe is in there third. Common Rock fourth. Moving up on the outside fifth is Yankee Moonlight. The last horse, Bankroll Bonnie. Going to the 3/4 mile mark. That's still Climate with the lead. Racing second, Kathy's Cloud. 3 wide going down the backside is T Swifty Babe. 3 quarters in 132 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for Peter. That's still Climate with the lead. On the outside second is T Swifty Babe. Kathy's Cloud third. Yankee Moonlight moving up on the outside fourth. As they race for home. That's Climate at the rail. T Swifty Babe on the outside. Climate and T Swifty Babe. Climate and T Swifty Babe. Climate and T Swifty Babe. T Swifty Babe. Climate up the second. Up the show. It's Yankee Moonlight. A mile and 2:04 and 3/5.
I am not sure who got that. That was pretty tight.
Looked like 4-3 to me. 4-3-2-6. That's going to pay well. I say well. There's not that much money in these pools, but I don't think the 4 was the favorite. The favorite, the 6, made a break partway through the first turn, and I kind of watched that horse. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but it was wearing knee spreaders, or some would say ghost rates, but it may have bumped itself a little bit and caused it to make go off stride. It looked to me like every turn thereafter, Mark kept that horse a little bit wider in the turn, and was able to come back, and I guess did finish fourth. But nice effort by Climate, first pari-mutuel start to cut the mile out, coming second. But I think T Swifty Babe will be coming back to the winner's circle for the Ryan Stahl stable.
You could see at the head of the stretch, Ryan reached or put his foot down and pulled those earplugs, and then that horse kind of got that little extra surge to win. You wouldn't be able to see that with your eye, but with this head-on shot that Matt's got, you could see it pretty plain.
Right. And well, I think there's two guys, but I think Hedworth won every race, but he wasn't in one particular race.
Oh.
Anthony McDonald came here one year, and I think won virtually every race as well.
Wow.
But I think Anthony came in second in a race. I think Mark Hedworth one year drove in every race but won, and won every one of them. Now, what year? I'm going to have to say that was probably in the 2014-15 range. He probably knows. He was probably here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mark didn't drive one for Tim. It wasn't Hoosier. That's an Indiana bred that Tim Conkright trained. I know it wasn't here. Ryan's taking his time coming back to the winner's circle, but it's the first win for this 2-year-old filly, the Summa Cum Laude filly. Lifetime mark now at 2:04.
Let's have a big hand here for T Swifty Babe and all concerned, and the B-H&H Snacks and Gas, the owners of the lane. Here are the official placing for race 6 from the top. Number 1, Common Rock was 6th. Number 2, Yankee Moonlight was 3rd. Number 3, Climate was 2nd. Number 4, T Swifty Babe was the winner. Number 5, Bankroll Bonnie was 5th. And number 6, Kathy's Clown was 4th. Time in the first quarter was 29 3/5. The half was in 1:01. The 3/4 in 1:32 2/5. With a mile in 2:04 3/5. The challenge rate 6:32.154. A mile in 2:04 3/5. First lifetime win for T Swifty Babe.
So that is 6 races in the books. We've got the 7th coming up. That's one change that we know about. Stars in My Crown will be driven by Drew Neal. It's the second of 2 divisions of the 3-year-old filly trot. So we will be right back after these messages.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Dublin Valley Farms, home of Volstead sire of 2024 Ohio Horse of the Year Sugar Instead. Also standing at Dublin Valley Farms, Slay, a promising young son of Chapter 7 and Coach K Hanover by world record holder Wallner. Looking for your next winner? Dublin Valley Farms and our clients are offering an exciting lineup of yearlings with current and fashionable pedigrees. Available at public auctions this year. Backed by a team that cares, Dublin Valley Farms, Fredericksburg, Ohio.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fair. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 22 fairs in 20 Ohio counties. Trotters and Pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Fair Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins. Make summer memories this year at the Ohio County Fairs. The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be live streaming every race this year, and we want you to be there. Be a part of the excitement with the 2025 Ohio County Fair Racing Passport. Stop by the OHHA broadcast location in the grandstand to pick up your passport and stamp. Get stamps at every fair you attend. Prizes will be awarded to those that attend the most racing programs. Get your passport at the first fair you attend or call the OHHA office at 614-221-3650. Harness Racing, the fastest ride at the fair.
The Ohio equine industry needs your help. I'm Scott Mogan, president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. With over 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. That means jobs that pump millions of dollars into the local economy and support thousands of families. For Ohio's equine industry to remain strong, we need to send a clear message to our legislators about the important role that the agricultural small businesses play in Ohio's economy. To do that, we need your help. PACER, the Political Action Committee for Equine Racing, helps support and inform on issues that could positively affect Ohio harness racing. Please consider a donation to PACER. To donate, visit our website at ohha.com or call 614-221-3650. Your donation will help keep harness racing strong in Ohio. Thank you for your support.
Okay, we are back for race number 7, the second of 2 divisions of the 3-year-old filly trot. I'm going to go for a purse of $6,690, just kind of a nice purse. We've got 8 races of the stakes, and then we've got the 4-year-old and up Signature Series pace. A lot of nice horses in this race, horses that have got fast marks and a lot of money. So with that last race of the day, there could be a chance that it would break the track record.
I didn't catch that. What about the track record?
I said that last race of the day is going to be a pretty nice race.
Oh, absolutely. And this particular field of 3-year-old filly trotters, I think, have a chance to break the 3-year-old filly trot record, which is, I believe, 203-1, done by multiple horses. 203 flat. Taddy Hill, which was last year, and Azari, and 2006 I actually owned part of Azari. That's why I kind of remembered it. But some nice fillies here. Several of them have raced at Buckeye Stallion Series or even Sire Stakes in this field.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice. Some of these horses were in the Buckeye Stallion Series, and the Buckeye Stallion Series was kind of your brain child. Did you ever think it would get as popular as it is?
Well, yes and no. I mean, did I think it would be as popular? Probably not, because I had a lot of naysayers to get the thing kicked off, honestly. But I knew we had a place between the high level and the fairs that was just kind of an empty spot. And we didn't have as many overnight races at the pari-mutuel tracks to really fill that desire for those type horses. And I guess I kind of felt like as the breed was getting better and we were breeding more here in Ohio, we needed to have a spot to try to elevate the program. And it has taken off tremendously. And, when you look at the quality of races there and the number of different trainers and owners that have done well in there, it's not heavily dominated by big stables or small stables, big stables. And it works well for these horses that you've got a really good fair horse and you want to see, can they step up the next level, or vice versa. A horse that we really think has the pedigree and is a sire stake caliber, but getting beat up a little bit and decide, well, maybe let's just go down to the Stallion Series and see if, we get a little better fit for it.
Yeah, and you see a lot of horses at the fairs that will try it, bounce back and forth between the fairs and that, because there is...
Well, let's just use the one horse in this particular race as an example. Its last 2 starts have been at the county fairs. Back on July 9th, it raced in a Buckeye Stallion Series race at Scioto Downs and made a little bobble at the start, but came back and finished 6th, trotted in 56-4. And if you go back farther, June 7th, it raced in an Ohio Sire Stake at Northfield. Unfortunately, had the 7-hole and did finish 6th, but trotted in 56-1. Shows winning this year in 56-4. Last year made 58,000, had 2 wins, taking a mark at Northfield in 58-3. So that's a horse that's kind of been on all ends of the spectrum this year as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of them seem to do that, to bounce around a little bit, and it gives everybody a chance. And with a $20,000 guaranteed purse, that's kind of awfully nice.
Right. It's nice to go for those big purses, but it's really nicer to take a check to the bank. And, coming in 6th in a sire stake, it's nice. You're competitive, but it doesn't pay any bills. And, a lot of these young horses kind of need bravened up. And if they get beat up, a couple 2-3 weeks in a row, and they're doing all they can do, trotting as fast as they can or pacing as fast as they can, you really need to try to give them an opportunity to braven up and have some success. And I think the Stallion Series has helped with that. I mean, it's been good for Ohio.
Absolutely. So let's go to the post parade with Bill.
$690 and a blanket courtesy of Cindy at the Pizza. Number 1 is Sienna Sunrise, followed by James Bellasac of Strongsville, Ohio, Michael Lee of Rudolph, Ohio, Bob Carson of Strongsville, Ohio, Dr. Jill Daniel of Delta, trained by Mike Lee, the driver, Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 2 is Corefoot Flexing, followed by Hoopin' and Racing LLC of Delaware, Roy Justice of Marysville, trained by Roy Justice, the driver, Pierce Henry. Number 3 is Deep Slade, followed by Veneer Racing LLC of Pemberville, John Leanne Saunders of Castle Rock, Colorado, trained by Dave Veneer. 4 is Stars in My Crown, followed by Anthony Miller of Tennessee, Ohio, Hagerman Racing of Mount Vernon, Ohio, trained by Herman Hagerman, the driver, Drew Neal. Number 5 is Speed of an Angel, followed by Emmanuel Miller of Delaware, Peter Gentile Jr. of Daytona Beach, Florida, trained by Emmanuel Miller. There's Win Place Show.
Oh, we have Jeff Garner watching from Venice, Italy.
Wow. Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. That is pretty cool. Dolly from Delaware. A couple guys from Wisconsin. So we welcome everyone. Sienna Sunrise from the rail with Mark St. Louis Jr. Michael Lee is the trainer. The owners are Bellucci, Lee, Carson, and Dental. This is an Enterprise filly, a chestnut filly, out of an Uncle Peter mare. Imagine Her Reign. 9 starts on the year, 1 win. That was earlier this year at Northfield in 56-4. Had a nice 2-year-old season also. I had a mark of 58-3 as a 2-year-old. Made $58,000 her freshman year.
Yeah, that's a Wood County trained horse. The 2, Corfu Flexing, trained by Roy Justice. Pierce Henry will be driving this 3-year-old Flex the Muscle filly, owned by Hoofin Racing, Delaware, and Roy Justice, Marysville. This filly has 4 starts on the year, 1 second, no thirds, made $1,327. Last start at Tiffin, trotted in 2, 6, and 1.
Dietz Lighting and Dan Veneer from the 3-hole. Dan also trains Veneer Racing, and John and Leanne Saunders from Castle Rock, Colorado, own this And Away We Go filly out of a Train for the Future mare. Rose Run Leah has had 11 starts this year, 4 wins, coming off a 2-win streak at Oak Harbor in 2 minutes and a 5th, and Tiffin in 2, 3, and 2, but does have a mark this year, 56-1 at Scioto Downs.
Looking ahead to race 9, the number 4 horse, Michael, has been drawn. You can scratch the number 4 horse, Michael, out of race 9.
The 4 horse, Stars in My Crown. Herman Hagerman had a good day today. Trains the 4 horse, driven today by Drew Neal. This Marseille 3-year-old filly has 14 starts on the year, 4 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, made $38,824 this year with a mark of 55-1. Anthony Miller and Hagerman Racing are the owners of this nice-looking 3-year-old filly trotter.
And Speed of an Angel with Manny Miller up. He also is the trainer and co-owns along with Peter Gentile from Florida. This is a Marseille out of a Muscle Massive mare, Keystone Angel. 8 starts this year, 3 wins, the fastest of those, 2, 1, and 2 at Northfield. Had a stellar freshman year also, was 9 of 14, first, seconds, or thirds. Had a 2-minute flat mark at Delaware last year. So you are right. This is going to be a really nice race. It's almost like you're looking at 3-year-old filly pacing times.
Yeah, I mean, the combined earnings of these 5 horses just this year is roughly about $90,000. And it really impressive field of trotters here at the Wood County Fair. And they swing around here to the head of the stretch, and we'll have Bill Peters' call.
Here they come. Here, I've been running the first horse away in the middle of the track is Deep Lady. After the second is Sienna Sunrise. Five stars in my crowd. The last horse is Coastal Reflection. After make the turn down, hit down the backside, race over that quarter mile mark. Now Sienna Sunrise takes over. Coming in second is Deep Lady. Racing third is Stars in my crowd. In there fourth, that's Speed Angel. The last horse is Coastal Reflection. Going past that quarter mile mark. Still Sienna Sunrise with the lead with Deep Lightning right there, close seconds. First quarter was trotted in 30 seconds. As they race around the upper turn to come down past the stand for the third time, that's Sienna Sunrise, driven by Mark St. Louis Jr. with the lead. Running in there second is Deep Lightning, driven by Dan Media. Third is Stars in my crowd, driven by Drew Neal. Fourth is Speedway Angel, driven by Emmanuel Bauer. The last horse, Coastal Reflection, driven by Chris Henry. Coming to the half-mile mark now, Drew Neal's out and on the move with Stars in my crown. That's still Sienna Sunrise in the lead with Stars in my crown on the outside second. It keeps fighting in the rail third. First half trotted in 101. As they round the turn now, head down the backside and race over at the 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Sienna Sunrise. The horse pouring on the brakes from the outside second and Stars in my crown. Deep sliding is third and looking for racing room. Speedway Angel trots fourth and Torque Flexing trails. Going to the 3/4 mile mark. That's Sienna Sunrise along the rail. It's Stars in my crown on the outside and racing head for head, nose for nose, past that 3/4 mile mark. With deep sliding right there third. 3 quarters in 1:30 and 1/5. As they race around the return to head center. That is Stars in my crown on the outside the lead. And here comes Deep Sliding. That's Stars in my crown. Deep Sliding coming back third is Sienna Sunrise. As they race for home. That's Stars in my crown and Deep Sliding. Stars in my crown on the rail. Deep Sliding on the outside. Stars in my crown and Deep Sliding. It's going to be Stars in my crown. And here they all come. Deep Sliding up for place. Sienna Sunrise show. A mile and 2:02 and 4/5.
New track record.
Ooh.
Wow.
For 3-year-old filly trot.
Sure.
Yep.
Had a very excited young man down here in front of us.
Yep.
Jumping up and down, waiting for Deets Lighting to come on, and that horse raced awfully good too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, half in 101, came the back half in 101 and 4. Contested, Stars in my crown pulled early and was basically parked from the half on and put the pressure on Mark St. Louis. And that horse raced good as well, but just got a little tired there in the last 200 yards. But I believe we have a new track record for 3-year-old filly trotters.
We are trying to keep record of not only the current track record holders, but those in the past, because there is no way. The USTA has done away with their trotting and pacing guide, so there's no way you can go back and find these old track records. So we need to make sure that we're keeping them.
Yeah, I mean, it's when we travel around to these fairs, it's nice to kind of be able to reflect historically and look at, and a lot of times we remember some of these horses, and obviously today we talked about it earlier. Azari had the track record. Chucky Peters drove that day. I remember it well, and then that mark was tied last year and beaten today by a 1/5 of a second.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go, coming in from Dundee in Mount Vernon, Ohio, comes number 4, Stars in my crown. Followed by Anthony Miller and Henry Racing, trained by Herman Hagerman, on Good to Victory by Drew Deal, and Stars in My Crown, has just trotted to a new track record for 3-year-old filly trotters, trotting that mile in 2:02 4/5. The old track record was co-held by Azeri back in 2006 and Katie Hill last year. Blanket for this race, courtesy of Sydney's Pizza. Let's all hand here for Herman Hagerman, Drew Deal, and Stars in My Crown at the Sydney's Pizza, the donors of the bike. Here are the official placings for race 7 for the top. Number 1, Sienna Sunrise was 3rd. Number 2, Corfu Flexing was 5th. Number 3, Teach Lighting was 2nd. Number 4, Stars in My Crown was the winner. And number 5, Speed of an Angel was 4th. Time in the first quarter was 30 seconds. The half was in 1:01. The 3/4 in 1:30 and 1/5 with a mile in 2:02 and 4/5. The top it should read 3, 5, 2, 1, 4 at the bottom. The mile in 2:02 and 4/5. A new track record for 3-year-old filly trot. Remember that we have a late daily double over races 8 and 9. A late daily double over races 8 and 9. There are no changes in race 8, but in race 9, number 4, Michael, has been drawn. Scratch the number 4 horse, Michael, out of race 9.
So that is 7 races in the books. The 8th race coming up. The 3-year-old co-pace, the second of 2 divisions, another good field with 7 horses. I said it's there's a little bit of a different feel to this track, I think, because you are right on the track here. I mean, there's not really a big apron. And when you got 7 in this field coming down to the start, it's pretty darn exciting right here.
It is. I mean, years ago, we used to start 6 wide here, and you had them out here shaking hands in the crowd. And, in the essence of safety and things, I think, was the right thing to do. But I do remember when they did start six across here. The layout of this track is, I'm told by the old timers, which I'm getting to be one of them, was exactly laid out like Delaware. The dimensions, of the turn. I mean, obviously, again, it's a half-mile track, but the straightaway and the length of the backstretch, I am told, the design was done, in replica of the Delaware Fairgrounds. So, not quite as manicured as well as Delaware, but I will say, the track is in pretty good shape, and they're actually putting some water down. We had rain last night, and it was a little tacky when I got here today, but nice to put some more water on to keep the dust down. But are we go on a break, or are we going to talk about this 8th?
Let's go on a break first.
All right.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Midland Acres is proud to stand the Prominent Stallions, TCI, Long Tom, Ready for Money, Monty Mickey, Summa Cum Laude, and Bit of a Legend. With such great pedigree and speed in the Stallion Barn, Midland Acres will provide a diverse group of top yearlings in the sale ring for 2025. Visit us this fall at our consignments at the Blooded Horse Sale on August 26th, the Ohio Select Jug Sale on September 12th, and the Lexington Select Sale on September 29th through October 3rd. Let Midland Acres experience in the industry lead you to the winner's circle.
Okay, welcome back. Scott said, Surfing the Canyon, isn't he the track record holder there at Bowling Green? Yes, he is the overall track record holder for Pacers. But we just broke the 3-year-old filly track record. Surfing the Canyon set that last year. It's Steve's horse. Case Bates and his son drove it in 57-2. Before that, it had been Night Pro with Dale Decker, and he set that in 2019 of 57-3. So he just broke it by a fifth of a second. An all-age trotting record is held by Stony Ridgetop, John Konetsky, in 2 minutes flat. And if you guys were listening at the beginning of the race card, we talked about a very unique set of circumstances that 2 past OHHA presidents set track records in their hometown at their home fair in the same year. So it was kind of fun last year doing that.
Yep. I like both those horses a lot too. Of course, Stony Ridgetop's one of probably my favorite of all time.
He is. He's just
that weren't one of ours. For
so
sure.
Cool.
Yep.
So cool.
Looking forward to seeing him tomorrow.
Yeah. And looks like John had a nice one today, winning the first race with Hunt Club. John Konetsky is 76 years old, still out there driving with the rest, so he does a really good job. Very patient man with the trotters, that's for sure. So we've got, as far as drivers today, I believe it is Manny Miller has 2 drives, everybody else has 1, and Herman Hagerman's got 3 wins on the day. So that is, he's looking to lead our drivers and leading drivers and trainers today. I know Bob Roberts had all the stats on them for the whole year. I don't have those with me today, but a lot of people keep a good track on that. Roger Houston keeps track of it for us, and as I said, Bob Roberts had that all figured out too. Who was leading in the state? I believe last night it was Hank Levan was leading driver for the entire state.
Probably not far off a leading trainer too.
Right. Yeah, he was pretty close.
We haven't talked a lot, but the purses as the fairs have went on, we significantly have went up, and it's just simply because they overlap. We have less splits, and this 8th race is a prime example. We have 2 divisions of the 3-year-old colt pace. Each division going for $7,095. That's a pretty nice fair purse.
Absolutely, it is. You see, every once in a while, we had one last night that was just one division. That was the 3-year-old Philly Pacers.
Yep,
I think.
went for $15,000.
Yeah. It was a real nice. A lot of really nice races last night. We did have a little delay. It rained for a while, but
that was a real bummer. I'd really like to see what those young horses can do. Some of them the first time on a pari-mutuel track and kind of under the lights and stretch their legs a little bit. And that wasn't a good track to test it on last night.
No.
It was rated sloppy all night long, and it was funny because it would rain like crazy, and then it would stop, and the sun came out, the rainbow came out, and then it would come down again and just make it all mush again.
Yeah, I think, Ohio, the last few days, we've been hanging around between 68 and 80% relative humidity. And when you're at 80%, it's almost like saying it's raining. And that's about what happened yesterday. Today there was actually a chance of rain, they said, between 11 and 1 o'clock. And I thought, boy, that'd be just great. But it's turned out to be a nice day for the humidity. It's anytime you can get the fair races in without a rain issue, it's a good thing because most of the fairs aren't really set up to have a rain date. They've got other things going on, and a lot of horsemen already have their schedule made out. And I'm very thankful it appears we'll get today and tomorrow in without any hiccups.
Yeah, it is. Like you say, it is tough because the fairs are just packed with fun stuff to do.
Well, and it's not just the fairs. I mean, I didn't realize it until about 11 o'clock last night. We had an unfortunate incident at Scioto. The Sire Stakes got canceled because of torrential rain and lightning. And I don't know that they've made the call yet when they're going to make up those Sire Stakes. That's a kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But I think they got 4 or 5 races in, and unfortunately, the weather just would not cooperate. So, even at the parimutuel tracks, sometimes they have to cancel.
And it takes a lot for them to cancel. So I think it must have been awfully bad.
Especially on a Sire Stakes night. I think
Yes.
they would have run those if at all possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, that all summer long, those are the events that those horses are scheduling their summers around. So yeah, they're could throw a wrench in somewhere, but
yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they get them raced here this week.
$7,095 and a blanket courtesy of Frank Sales Incorporated. Number 1 is Hot Times Tonight, owned by Ivy Holdings in Apple Creek, Ohio, trained by Robbie Brooks, the driver of Pierce Hendrick. Number 2 is Hey Hey, It's Friday, owned by Mike Lee of Rudolph and Dr. Till Daniel of Delta, trained by Mike Lee, the driver of Ryan Stahl. Number 3 is Bob's ACH, owned by Charles Little of Sunbury, Ohio, trained by Terry Henry, the driver of Charles Little. Number 4 is Believe in Tom, owned by Jerry Michael of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver of Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 5 is JB Magic, owned by Bob Geist of Salina, trained by Ty Bates, the driver of Drew Neal. Number 6 is Black Street, owned by Anthony Miller of Dundee, Ohio, and Hagerman Racing of Mount Vernon, Ohio, trained by Herman Hagerman, the driver of Emmanuel Miller. And number 7 is Festus Road, owned by Stephen Reese of Republic, Ohio, Charles Moody of Avon Lake, Ohio, trained by Janie Weller and the driver Rod Adams Jr. There's win, place, show, exacta, and trifecta wagering on race 8, any double wagering on race.
So we had a question, how many races today? And we have 9 today. This is our last stake race, and the 9th race will be our Signature Series pace. So let's take a look at the horses in this race. Oh, go ahead.
I got a text, which is very helpful. I will thank you, Mr. Tim Conkright. They're going to race those Sire Stakes on Monday.
Are they?
At Scioto. So that's a great call. And I don't know if those will be wagering events. Monday's not a normal race day. So I suppose they decided that was the easiest thing to do. That would have gave the horses a little bit of time that were on Lasix. They would have had Lasix yesterday, off today, and I would assume they're racing probably tomorrow afternoon, but I don't know that. But thank you, Tim.
Yeah, and that's not that far away that if they have something scheduled in another week or so, it's not going to disrupt them that bad. So from the rail, we have Hot Times Tonight in Pierce Henry for trainer Robert Brooks. Ivy Holdings, the owner of this Lather Up Colts out of a Stand Forever mare, Forever Ivy. 7 starts on the year, 1 win. That was at Tiffin in 2, 1, and 3.
Hey, it's Friday. Trained by Michael Lee, Ryan Stahl will drive this 3-year-old down by the seaside. It's owned by Michael Lee and Dr. Jill Dennell from Delta, Ohio. This 3-year-old has 8 starts on the year, 4 seconds and 1/3, made $6,314. Was a Lexington select sale purchase of $27,000.
Obbs Ock, Charles Little drives, owns, and bred this horse. It's a Big Bam Ray out of a Polo player mare, Polo Ob. Terry Henry is the trainer. Just 3 starts this year, no starts a prior year, but was able to pace some miles in 2, 1, and 2 at Bell Fountain.
The 4 is Believe in Tom. Mark St. Louis will drive. Steve Novak is the trainer. Jerry Migel is the owner and the breeder of this 3-year-old Long Tom. Believe in Waco is the mare and has 8 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 1/3.
JB Magic and Drew Neal from the 5-hole. Black Streak, Manny Miller from the 6, and Fastest Road with Rod Allums from the 7 spot.
horse away on the outside is Believe in Tom. Charging up second on the outside is JB Magic. And their third is Hey Hey, it's Friday. Fourth is Hot Time Tonight. Racing fifth is Black Street. Moving to sixth is Fastest Road. And the last horse is Odds AC8. Heading down the backside over toward that quarter mile mark, Mark St. Louis has Believe in Tom on top by a length and a half. Racing second is JB Magic, driven by Drew Neal. And their third is Hey Hey, it's Friday, driven by Brian Stahl. Fourth is Hot Time Tonight, driven by Pierce Henry. Racing fifth, Black Street, driven by Emmanuel Miller. Sixth is Fastest Road, driven by Rod Allen Jr. The last horse, Odds ACA, driven by Charles Wood. First quarter was paced in 29 and 4/5 seconds. As they race around the upper turn to come down past the 10 for the first time. That's Believe in Tom by a length and a half. Racing second is JB Magic. Hey Hey, it's Friday is in their third. Fourth, it's Hot Times Tonight. Racing fifth is Black Street. At the rail sixth, it's Fastest Road on the outside seventh, Odds AC8. First half paced in 101 and 2/5. That's still Believe in Tom with the lead. A length and a half back second is JB Magic. Up on the outside, third down comes Hot Times Tonight. Fourth is Hey Hey, it's Friday. Moving up fifth, Black Street. Sixth is Fastest Road and Odds ACA's trail. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's Believe in Tom answering the call and pacing right on. Rubbing in there second, it's Hot Times Tonight. And racing in there third is JB Magic. 3/4 is 131 and 3/5. As they race around the return to head to pay dirt. But still Believe in Tom by 2 lengths. Racing second, it's Hot Time Tonight. On the back third comes Black Street. On the outside fourth in the race toward home. That is Hey Hey, it's Friday. As they race to the lane, it's going to be Believe in Tom. And here we go, come. Hot Time Tonight up the plate, up the show. It's Hey Hey, it's Friday. A mile in 2 minutes and 2/5.
Well, that was eventful but uneventful. Believe in Tom went to the front, and that was kind of the end of it. Got a nice, clean start for him, but it was a little bit discombobulated there. Just the nicest way I can put it. The trailers were never really in the race. I'm not really sure what happened there, but Believe in Tom got to the half in 101 and 2, and final time of the mile in 2 minutes and 2/5. So came a very nice back half of 59, right?
Yep.
Back half in 59. We didn't get a chance to really talk about it. I know we did last year, but Believe in Tom was a little bit of a good mistake, as it's turned out for Mr. Migel. Most of you know Long Tom is a trotting sire and was bred to Believe in Waco, which is a very good pacing mare, and the offspring, Believe in Tom, is clearly a pacer, not a trotter. And it was just one of those things that happened. But Believe in Tom has now won in excess of $73,000 as a 3-year-old.
It seems like the mare, if it's a really nice mare and they have good, it doesn't matter.
You know, the old timers always said the mare represented 75 to 80% of the offspring.
Coming in from Westland, Michigan comes number 4, Believe in Tom. All by Jerry Michael, trained by Steve Novak, and come directed this afternoon by Mark St. Louis Jr. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Frank Sales Incorporated.
There, and he has a lot of characteristics of Long Tom, but he also looks like his mother. His mother was a beast of a mare. Really good.
In the winner's circle for the trophy presentation.
Art McElmary drove her a lot at the fairs and the big races. Very, very good horse.
That is our fastest race of the day so far, too. 2
Let's
minutes and 2/5.
there for Steve, Nicole, Braden, and Brian Novak, Mark St. Louis Jr., and Believe in Tom, and the Frank Sales Incorporated, the owners of the blank.
Boy, he is a tank, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He's a big horse.
He's a Well, he's a specimen. I mean, he's a 3-year-old, but he could pass for a 5 or 6-year-old. I mean, he is put together nice. I mean, that's what you want to see in a horse. Good-looking animal there. Long Tom stands at Midland Acres, still stands there. It's had a full book the last several years, and outstanding trotting stallion in this state. But
that horse took a record of 53-2 as a 2-year-old, and got a record of 54-2 this year. So nice horse.
Yep. He's primarily been at the fairs. It looks like he's been at a couple Stallion Series races. One time he had to scratch, and the other time he finished third at Northfield, paced in 54-3. So congratulations to all the connections. As we move to the getaway feature for the day, we've had a nice card rolled right along. It's only a 225 on Sunday. One more race, the Sam Chamberlain Signature Series Memorial, going for a purse of $2,700, a field of 7, scratch down to 6. We have one more commercial, or what?
Yep, one more set.
All right, we'll come back and discuss the final race of the day, and we'll talk about if the track record could be in jeopardy today.
Placings for racing from the top. Number 1, Hot Times Tonight was second. Number 2, Hey, It's Friday was third. Number 3, Hobbs ACH was sixth. Number 4, Believe in Tom was the winner. Number 5, JB Magic was fourth. Number 6, Black Street was fifth. And number 7, Fastest Road was seventh. Time in the first quarter was 29 4/5. The half was in 101 2/5. The 3 quarters in 131 3/5. For the mile in 2 minutes at 2/5. The tally should be 2, 3, 6, 1, 4, 5, 7 on the bottom. The mile in 2 minutes at 2/5.
In Ohio, Hickory Lane Farm has the stallions you are looking for, like What the Hill, Uncle Peter, and In Range, as well as Branded by Lindy, Jug Winner Luz Pearlman, Racing Hill, and Guardian Angel Oz. Hickory Lane will offer a host of Ohio-sired yearlings this fall, including 6 by In Range, 5 by Uncle Peter, 4 by Guardian Angel Oz, and 1 by What the Hill. Find out more at hickorylanefarm.com.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigD'sWeb.com. Sign up for text messaging and receive $10 off your order. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
summer memories this year at the Ohio County Fairs. The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be live streaming every race this year, and we want you to be there. Be a part of the excitement with the 2025 Ohio County Fair Racing Passport. Stop by the OHHA broadcast location in the grandstand to pick up your passport and stamp. Get stamps at every fair you attend. Prizes will be awarded to those that attend the most racing programs. Get your passport at the first fair you attend or call the OHHA office at 614-221-3650. Harness Racing, the fastest ride at the fair.
Well, we're back. One race to go here. Nice field of horses. I think one in particular really stands out. Intrepid Ivy Signature Series. We interviewed Stacy Curry earlier, the trainer of the one horse, and for those that don't know or remember, I mean, last year I had a horse that raced in the Signature Series quite a few times, had a nice win streak, and I got to know Stacy kind of from that because Mark St. Louis drove most of the races of Surf in the Canyon. And last year here at the Wood County Fair, my son came back and drove. But, unfortunately, back in January, which I couldn't have talked about this in February, but back in January, right before the OHHA banquet, one morning I went out and jogged. He jogged second that day and took a couple bad steps, didn't think a lot about it. He always jogged on the trot and was jogged lame, and I switched him to the pace. Just kind of thought that was odd, and he paced fine for about two-thirds of a lap and made a break, and that's just not him. And completed that lap and brought him in, and I had to do my day job, got him cleaned up, and wife said, he's not putting a lot of weight on that, and I was fortunate to be able to get into my local vet, Kesson Veterinary Clinic in Delphus, Ohio, the next day, and Jason was convinced he just had an abscess, bruised his foot, and I wasn't sure. I mean, he would walk on it, and he had one of those portable x-ray machines where he's looking at the computer and the technician was holding it, and I didn't look at the x-ray. I was just watching my vet's face, and I could tell by it was bad. He broke a sesamoid bone right in half. Clean break. It was to the point you couldn't take it out, and it's not a life-threatening thing, but it probably could be career-ending. But we're giving him a lot of time. We had surgery, put a screw in it. He stood in a stall for 100 days, and that was kind of tough on me to watch. But he handled it well, and he's been gradually stepped up from round pens, and now he's turned out. He's out at home right now with my retired Payson mare, Stay Gold. They're best buddies, and he's living the life of a horse, and maybe in another month we'll do another x-ray and see if the vet thinks it's solidified enough to start back with him. But we won't see Surf in the Canyon at any Signature Series, unfortunately.
Wow.
But he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and, you had a great year with him.
Oh, that win down at Delaware was fun for everybody. That was everybody was pumped down there.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this Intrepid Ivy is that type of horse, and I've watched this horse progress in their stable. They claimed him, and they don't generally get too attached to a horse, but they've gotten attached to this Intrepid Ivy, and he is a really nice horse. Win earlier this year at Scioto in 149-1. He can handle a half-mile track. He paced at Circleville here a few weeks ago in 157-3, but really, really nice horse. Made $97,000 last year, and I think if he wants to break the track record today, he probably can without much effort. But we'll see. The track's decent, but he has the one hole. Intrepid Ivy, trained by Stacy Curry. Mark St. Louis drives. Stacy Curry owns the horse. 20 starts this year, 7 wins, 6 seconds, 2/3, $97,435. This always a virgin 9-year-old.
A Bit Crazy and Rod Allums Jr. Jamie Weller is the trainer. Stephen Reese and J&R Racing the owners. This is a 4-year-old mare by Bit of a Legend and out of the mare Crazy Again, who's by Dragon Again. 17 starts this year, has not won yet, but did have a really nice mark at last year as a 3-year-old of 54-2. So we're gonna
post parade.
Go with post parade. Yep.
Chamberlain Memorial Pace. It's for 4-year-olds horse and I'm a part of the 6 series, going for a purse of $2,700 and a blanket courtesy of Coy Painting and Residential Services. Number 1 is the Trap Diving. He's a bay gelding, 9 years old, by always a virgin out of Hyper Miracle by Electric Yankee. Owned and trained by Stacey Curry of Thorntonville, Ohio, driven this afternoon by Mark St. Louis Jr. Lifetime earnings over $342,000. A lifetime mark 149 and 1/5. Number 2 is a bit of Crazy. He's a bay mare, 4 years old, by Bit of a Legend and out of Crazy again by Dragon again. All by Stephen Reese, the Republican, JNR Racing, a Rising Sun. Trained by Jamie Weller, driven this afternoon by Rod Adams Jr. Lifetime earnings over $48,000. A lifetime mark 154 and 2/5. Number 3 is Side Chick. She's a bay mare, 6 years old, by Charlie Barley out of Dangerous Liaison, by All-American Native, owned by Linda Mulrooney in South Lyon, Michigan, trained and driven by Greg Horn. Lifetime earnings over $27,000. A lifetime mark 155. Number 4, Michael has been drawn. Number 5 is a line-eyed favorite. He's a bay gelding, 6 years old, by Wellstead, out of Especially Awesome by Jody's Cam, owned by Denmark Stable of Florida, Fort Myers, Florida, trained by Ed Conrad, driven this afternoon by Wyatt Farmer. Lifetime earnings over $94,000. A lifetime mark 152 and 3/5. Number 6 is I Won My Money. He's a brown gelding, 4 years old, by Denson Yankee, out of Forever Ivy by San Forever, owned and trained by Jacob Baird of Mount Blanchard, driven this afternoon by Kyle Ladd. Lifetime earnings over $65,000. A lifetime mark 154. And number 7 is She's All Jacked Up. She's a bay mare, 6 years old, by If I Can Dream, out of Miss Picasso by Real Artist, owned by Dan and Landon Code of Cummington, Ohio, trained by Roy Justice, driven this afternoon by Drew Neal. Lifetime earnings over $160,000. A lifetime mark 152. Those are your horses for the 2025 Sam Chamberlain Memorial Pace.
We left off with the 3-horse Side Chick, driven by Greg Horn, trained by Greg Horn, Linda Maroney, South Lyons, Michigan. This 6-year-old Charlie Barley mare has 3 starts this year, 1/3, made $276, has a lifetime mark of 155.
The 4, Michael is Scratch. The 5, Illinois Fable. Wyatt Farmer drives. Ed Conrad trains. Denmar Stable of Florida, the owners. This is a 6-year-old gelding by Well Said out of Jody's Cam mare. Specially Awesome. It's had 121 lifetime starts, 10 wins, 10 seconds, 16 thirds, $94,000 in earnings, and a 4-year-old mark, 152 and 3. I believe that's Rosecroft.
The 6, I Want My Money. Jacob Baird trains this 4-year-old dancing yanking gelding. Today, Kyle Ladd will drive this horse. It is owned also by Jacob Baird, Mount Blanchard, Ohio. Has 23 starts this year, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. Earnings of $17,263 on the year, mark of 155 and 3. Has a lifetime mark of 154 flat at Scioto Downs with earnings of $65,906.
She's All Jacked Up and Drew Neal from the 7. Roy Justice trains. Daniel and Landon Coate are the owners. This is a 6-year-old mare by If I Can Dream out of a Real Artist mare, Miss Picasso. It's had 120 lifetime starts, $160,000 in earnings. A mark as a 5-year-old. So last year it took a mark of 152 at Miami Valley, and this year 54 and 4 at Miami Valley.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You don't always see a lot of mares in signature series races, and we've got in a 6-horse field here. We've got 3 mares in this particular race.
I remember a bit crazy as a 2-year-old. She had 9 wins on the fair circuit as a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So she was a very precocious 2-year-old.
Yeah, and really good. I don't want to speak out of charm here, but I think she had an unfortunate injury that kind of set her back a little bit at 3. They did get a win late in the year at Dayton. This bit of a legend. She's real nice mare now, but she was terrific at 2. That's good you pointed that out, Susan. Lining up here behind the starting gate. Should be interesting to watch the 6 try to stay with the 1.
Here they come. Here, off in the Sam Chamberlain Memorial Pace. The first first horse away along the rail is Intrepid Ivy. On the outside second is Side Chick. And their third is a bit crazy. On the outside fourth is a Illini Faithful. Up the fifth side, Won My Money. The last horse, she's all jacked up. As they straighten out down the backside, race over the quarter-mile mark. Mark St. Louis has Intrepid Ivy on top. Dropping into the second is Side Chick, driven by Greg Hart. Racing into third is a bit crazy, driven by Ron Alex. And the fourth is I Won My Money, driven by Kyle Lamb. On the outside fifth is the Illini Faithful, driven by Wyatt Partner. The last horse, she's all jacked up, driven by Drew Neal. First quarter pace in 29 and 4 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's Intrepid Ivy with the lead. On the outside second is a bit crazy. Working in the rail third is Side Chick. Moving up on the outside fourth as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That is the Illini Fable. At the fifth is I Won My Money. The last horse, she's all jacked up. There's 3 in, 3 out. They race past the half. That's Intrepid Ivy with the lead. First half pace in 101. As they're around the turn now and down the backside, it's in the 3/4-mile mark. The Liberty Kids is Intrepid Ivy. The closest horse, second one, there is Side Chick. Up on the outside, it's a bit crazy. Up 3 wide down the backside, it's a Illini Fable. 4 wide, now comes, she's all jacked up, and I Won My Money is looking for racing with the rail. Going to the 3/4-mile mark. That's Intrepid Ivy with the lead. Side Chick second. She's all jacked up on the outside. I Won My Money is fourth. Racing fifth, Illini Fable, and a bit crazy trail. 3 quarters in 131 and 1/5. As they race around the upper turn to head to that's Intrepid Ivy now, opening up by about 7 lengths. I Won My Money is racing second. Side Chick third. She's all jacked up in fourth. And fifth is Illini Fable. As they race around now, it's going to be Intrepid Ivy. And you're welcome. I Won My Money is the place. She's all jacked up in the show. A mile in 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, that was Mark was sitting in an easy chair there, and the track record was really never in jeopardy after the half in 101.
Right.
And you don't need to win by the length of the straightaway. The check will cash the same, and that was a nice mile for Intrepid Ivy. Hats off to them.
Just looked so effortless for Intrepid Ivy. I mean, just a way of going that just looks like he's got a whole lot more in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, this win here puts him just shy of 345,000 lifetime, and we're only halfway through the year, and this horse today just shy of 100,000 now. It's 98,700 this horse has made with 21 starts. I mean, that's pretty remarkable for a 9-year-old classy gelding like that.
Do you know how much they claimed him for?
Yes, I do. 20,000.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
He sold for 22,000 as a yearling.
Yeah, and there's
sale.
Stacy and Samuel coming back to the winner's circle, but yeah, I mean they claimed him for 20,000 and actually almost lost him for 30, and if the story was right, the claim got knocked off. There was something wrong with the paperwork, and they've never put him back in for 30. You do see he has raced in 40 and 50,000 claimers, but very nice horse, and good for Mark and Stacy. It's nice to have a horse like him.
Well, and Stacy said good for Samuel. She says this horse has bought Samuel a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yes, he has. Yeah, he has. You see, he's got earplugs, and he has pull-up blinds.
Yeah.
So Mark actually has 2 sets of strings, one to pull the earplugs and one to pull the blinds up if need be, and apparently he did. I'm assuming he started with the blinds down to start the race.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Thorntonville, Ohio, comes number 1, Intrepid Ivy. Owned and trained by Stacey Curry and delivered this afternoon by Mark St. Louis Jr. Flanker for this race is courtesy of Coy Painting and Residential Services. And Mike Brown is in the winner's circle for the trophy presentation.
Whoa.
Let's have a big hand here for Mark St. Louis Jr. Friedman, Brian Novak, Stacy Curry, and Samuel. And to Kohler PD and Residential Services, the Daughters of the White.
I think everybody, they're not going to make a lot, but I think everybody in the grandstand bet that horse, I'm assuming.
I'll bet.
So.
That was a nice day of racing. Everything was safe and good. Track seemed like it was in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Again, these tracks that don't have anybody that train on them, you race two days a year. It's kind of hard to have perfect conditions, and I think they had, good. We got a
Ty Bates out there training.
Yeah, somebody out there training before the.
It's you see it all. So apparently Ty's going to work on something here.
Yeah.
But good day of racing. Tomorrow we start at 5 o'clock. 11 races, a pretty good card. Some very competitive races. We'll have a Signature Series trot with the defending Signature Series champ at this racetrack, I should say, Stony Ridgetop, and local favorite John Koneski III.
We should get the complete rundown for you in just a second. And that, of course, was the fastest mile of the day, 2 minutes flat. We have our leading driver, and with that win in the 9th is Mark St. Louis. He had 3 wins on the day. Emmanuel Miller had 2. Herman Hagerman had 3 wins as a trainer. Steve Novak had 2, so those are our top trainers of the day. Well, I wonder if we're going to get the rundown.
I don't know. Come on, guys.
Okay.
I'm ready to get on the road.
I think I can give the rundown. I'm pretty confident this is right. So Intrepid Ivy, your winner, A Bit Crazy 6th, Side Chick 4, Michael was scratched, Illinois Fable 5th, I Want My Money 2nd, and She's All Jacked Up 3rd, 29 and 4, 101, 131 and 1, and 2 minutes flat. So thanks everybody for joining us. And we're going to sign off. So from all of us at OHHA, we thank you and have a great rest of your day.